Fuck you, Kelso. I'll have you know I just woke up. Like, 3 hours ago. I'm not going back to bed.
Bozo detected.
Thanks for the 20 months, Amish dude. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Go to bed. Fuck, what the hell? What? I woke up at 9. I woke up at like 11 or like 10:30. I don't. I woke up like 2 hours ago. I'm not going to bed. I'm fully nocturnal. For at least a little bit.
Unlock!
Congratulations, you released the special key fob sound until you exit.
Lock!
Alright, thank you for the copyrighted key fob.
Unlock! Lock!
Do you think you will become the lieutenant? Yeah, I don't think I could. I don't think I'm up to it, man. I'd be so lucky. If you're nocturnal, how come you didn't play Nocturne in Clash? Haha. Nocturnal isn't nocturnal. He's just kind of like a night guy, though. I'm gonna change outfits for walking there. What should I wear? I'm going to an interview after this. I'm thinking I'm gonna wear this. Is this gonna be a funny interview? I don't really know McQuillan that well.
3 times the amount of people who are
So
Utopia. We had like a parliament
I don't know.
and stuff. It was great.
Nice.
Actually, it's flannel, not plaid.
Also, yes, Lexi said, I'm still sick. I know. Trust me.
I feel so bad. Have you been taking medicine?
Yeah, I have.
You've been drinking tea?
I.
Ooh.
Yeah, get it?
Very pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was it.
You
What's the
totally have
difference?
voice for it now.
I don't know. I guess texture.
Yeah, probably.
It's really fucked up that I
It's
like
too
the
hot
way you
for
sound
that.
when you're
It's
sick.
not that hot here yet. Well, it's not that hot here anymore.
Owens cow dance, Owens cow dance.
Thanks, Mr. Palmy Zombie.
Yeah,
Thanks for the year, dude.
It just sounds
I'm looking at my
Barrack, this cadet's trying to kill you. Is the naughty nutter part 2?
phone to see what
I
temperature
was
it
ordered
is.
to, but yeah, Sweets ordered me
You
to
were
do
ordered
it.
to kill me.
It's
I was
67.
ordered to bring nuts.
Get that fucking bowl of
nuts
walnuts out of
everywhere.
here, man.
It's not very hot.
To the hospital last
No,
night.
we're not having this fight. The walnuts stay. The walnuts are
Walked
classy.
in and
Excuse
said I
me?
had
Are you
to
saying
get
no
nuts.
to your sergeant right
sergeant.
now?
I'm just doing. A lieutenant told me to bring nuts.
Subordination.
Just saying
But I
that
could
if
just
you
send you
had
out the door
nuts,
with the bowl of
you
walnuts
don't
if
like
you want.
nuts, or you
Please
can't
don't.
have
You don't
nuts
want to
when
get
you're
rid
a
of the
loser.
walnuts.
Fucking love storming. Yippee.
Like it's just
Like,
nuts.
wasn't there an announcement about?
Yeah, it is
not
still 80
bringing
in the
nuts
day.
because of the allergy thing. I thought there was an announcement about that.
I didn't
And there's
know
a bowl
that
of
yours
pecans
had
over- Dude.
walnuts in it.
Aphrodite,
Hey.
what are you eating?
With all the bombs and stuff, who cares about walnuts?
Aphrodite.
I mean,
Not
Aphrodite's here.
Aphrodite. No, she's not. Nope. Not here.
I
She's
haven't seen
outside
her.
still.
No.
I'll be right. I'll be right.
He's getting his allergy suit, isn't he?
100%. He's gonna come in his bomb outfit.
Yeah, I don't see Aphrodite anywhere.
Shouldn't she have to roll a D22 to get that sneak 100?
Y'all believe that Saul Leisman died at level 32 after I told him to not level his fire?
Oh no.
Ooh.
Fire me.
Fucking
Sounds
idiot.
like Saul Leisman.
No, Ripster, I know you were about to be excited
Wait,
when
Saul
I said Saul
Leisman's
Leisman
dead?
died.
Oh man, I
But,
wish.
no, this isn't a video game and World of Warcraft. This fucking idiot.
You guys need to get off those video games.
Yeah,
You
they're
should go out in the
bad.
real world and make friends, go to bars. Video games
You
are
own a-
pathetic.
Lily owns a bar.
Yeah,
across the
and what do you spend all your time on that stupid video game for? Rotting your brain away.
You're not wrong.
Are we gonna start opening the bar?
It's always open.
We're gonna start serving stuff at the like. We haven't opened
Yeah, ask your
nights and
boss.
stuff? I have. She doesn't respond to text messages. don't respond to emails, and she don't respond to text messages.
No, I'm sorry. I just haven't, I think I
Fine.
made a document and I just need to add just AID. That's literally anything. I'm just tired as fuck and you're lucky that I'm even awake right now.
Okay. You can go to sleep
Yeah.
if you need rest.
What's just AID?
Don't whisper that. Jesus
45802.
Christ. Fuck. Whisper that. Fuck. No one wants to hear that.
45802.
Oh god.
No one wants to hear that.
45802?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh fuck.
Blue, close your ears.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I've only lived here 3 months.
Should have thought about
Go to
that.
your documents app. It's in there.
Thank you.
Remind me what your name is.
Big dog with the
Budget
big
Dark.
late nights.
Oh, I thought he looked like Raven.
It's hard to remember what Raven looks like.
I saw him last when he debated us about uniforms like a month or 2 months ago.
Hey, SDSO second row. What's your name?
Redmond.
Redmond.
It's a little on the nose.
Like that one show, Redmington or whatever.
What?
I never watched
What
it.
show is
honestly.
that? Everybody loves Raymond.
He's talking about the
Raymond
protagonist, but
Reddington?
he's-
Raymond. Deborah. You got a wife named Deborah?
No.
You should consider it.
Damn,
Would be a
the
good
skunk's
fit.
got all the.
avoiding
I think it was every beat, every
Wait,
Reddit
Are you
clip.
fucking schizophrenic?
Maybe.
Who's sitting in that seat next to you? No one answer besides him.
My bowl of walnuts and I.
The walnuts are still in the room. All right.
Trying to kill Big Eric.
I personally don't care, but Big Eric, I think, here. So that's between you two.
So as long as they're not in my system.
Okay,
it's all right.
you can't say pecans properly, so we don't want to hear you piping up over there, Miss Upside Down Eyes.
Wow.
Pecans?
Yeah, that's what they're called.
And they're pecans.
Pecan.
And here's the thing. It's wrong that we call them pecans because the English language it should have 2 C's and then it would be pecans, but fuck it. I don't care. I say pecans. How's everyone's day going? Y'all chilling? Everything good?
Morning.
No.
Morning, Barrick.
Stubble's supposed to be here.
It's nighttime.
Yeah.
All right.
Woke up 30 minminutes ago.
Jesus,
Nice.
Your sleep schedule's
Nice.
fucked.
Nope. It's right on schedule.
Just a night owl.
Yep.
Right on schedule. All right. I'll be honest. I've been drained. I don't have anything today. Maybe if someone else has something, like a classic Harvey bit, aka a Svensen impression, or something. Maybe something will happen.
If I do that, I'll die. He'll kill
He's
me.
even standing the same way as him.
I will actually do it.
He's already kind of half doing it.
When's the last time Svensen killed someone above the age of 10 months? You know?
I feel like I'm watching Simon Says.
He doesn't know this one. He gets it wrong every time.
Yeah. Is that not the same?
No, it's not.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
I see.
He doesn't know this one. He doesn't know this one, see?
That's kind of
Nope, still wrong.
No, that's very wrong. That's Shelly.
Wrong.
You're standing like Shelly.
Wrong. You fucking suck, Harvey.
Now this is a
This
good
is
bit.
embarrassing, dude.
This is a good bit. Holy shit.
Oh, no.
We're gonna stand here until you get it, Harvey.
There it is.
Oh,
Fuck.
there it is. You're gonna have to get a new one. Spencer, you're gonna have to get a new one. Edda, is this you trying to do something too? Or are you
No,
trying to...
it's just me trying to see Harvey.
Okay, alright.
It's a good bit. Oh.
Damn, why do you have that one ready? What the-
You got the
What the
different levels
fuck?
too of arm window. Me and Thunder knows what's up with that.
I wish you could, raise your other arm in a window, but our windows just don't accommodate it.
Well,
I'll
think,
be honest, Bloom. You would want me to do a Svensen impression because he will execute me here and eat the.
Harvey, I'm
consequences for
sick
it.
of this slander of you thinking I want you dead or something. It needs to stop. Whenever they told us the other day to raise our hand if we liked you, my hand was like the second one up.
Can anyone
fucking-
verify that?
It was.
I think it was.
Yeah, Edo was actually
He
close.
put it
huh?
up. I don't know if it was the
Mhm.
first or second, but he put it up pretty early.
Yeah.
Plus, are you saying he's lying?
As was
Yeah,
mine.
classic
As was
Harvey.
Kind
Liz's.
of rude, Harvey.
Classic Larvae, am I
Bloom's
right?
always gaslighting and lying to me.
I'm going to shoot you in the head, and then you'll see if it's a gaslight. I'll take care of the Svensen problem right here and right now.
Stop dooming Harvey.
Wait, hold on. What's the Svensen problem? You got a problem with
That
Svensen?
he has to take care of you problem. I'm not even going to waste a text message 8 days prior. It's just going to fucking happen. And then I think everyone here is just going to blink and then ask what my next bid is. No one's saying I'm wrong.
Mm.
Everyone, Ripster's back.
Yay, welcome back.
That means he gets to participate in the Shift 3 meeting, maybe do an hour and then go off duty. But that means y'all
That's
still
right.
see him. That means y'all still see him, you know?
Yep.
We get to learn about wrestlers. That's always a positive.
Yeah, that's true. Have we talked about the Von Erichs and how cool their life is, Ripster?
We
He
have
doesn't do
not.
this one.
I haven't,
Their
brought up the
life
Von
is super
Erichs.
cool.
Thought
Yeah,
about barking.
super
I really
cool,
thought
yeah.
about barking.
Super cool.
Nothing
Von
bad ever
Erichs.
happened to that family.
Not a single.
They definitely
bad
aren't
thing.
cursed
No.
or sell their soul to the devil or anything.
No, not at all.
It's so bad, I know, but like, fuck it.
Completely okay. I
He
know
doesn't know
nothing
this
about...
one.
Here's my wrestling knowledge. Von Erichs, Stone Cold Steve Austin exists. John Cena became a movie star, and
As did The Rock.
And The Rock.
oh
The
yeah,
Rock came
I
back.
guess I know The Rock. What's the other one? Fucking I'm actually
Dave Bautista.
no.
Ultimate Warrior.
The
No,
Undertaker.
Theory,
stop
I'm
saying
scared.
it. God damn it. Fucking Rey Mysterio.
Mysterio.
Oh,
Yeah,
So what with
that-
the Slim Jims?
he was my favorite, even
Macho
though
Man Randy said.
I knew nothing
Yeah.
about it.
Stone Cold
yeah.
Steve Austin recently turned 60 years old.
No
if you can believe
shut
that.
up.
He
Well,
is
of
now
course, steroids
60
make everyone
years
stronger. Of course, he's gonna get older.
Yeah.
You can still
Miles
whip my ass.
alive.
but
He's gonna live until
goddamn.
200
Huge
because that's
intro.
what steroids do. They make you better.
Wasn't even an intro for
Ah,
Miles.
Don't look up the life expectancy of wrestlers. It's,
I'll tell you why their life expectancy is low. It's because the Von Erichs. So the outliers, the outliers really drag it down.
He does look
I
dumb. He
also
doesn't have
know
the
that
right
CM
pose.
Punk tried to do UFC. That was funny.
What?
You didn't
Did
know
he
that,
get
Kurt?
his ass kicked or something?
He has. I don't think he's ever fucking won anything. And Dana White just had to stop giving him fucking contracts because it was just embarrassing. And Dana White went on record to say, I only gave him this shit because he said UFC was easier than wrestling. So I wanted to see his ass get beat. And I did. And now I'm bored.
Brock Lesnar tried football for a little bit. He was okay. He was a linebacker for the Vikings, I think.
Can you imagine?
He was also a wrestler in college.
Can you imagine if like LeBron James wanted to
You
join
know
the
the
NFL?
Samantha Sanders stance.
That's like
He'd probably do fine.
He would just fuck everyone. He would just fuck everyone. Well, that's
Where's
what I'm saying.
Mantis?
If you take any
100
super
gifted, I'll
athlete and
yawn
put them
right
in
now.
another sport, they're just
Super
gonna
athlete.
fuck everyone.
Yeah, they'd be pretty good.
It might take them a minute, but they're gonna eventually get
100
there.
cheered.
Yeah.
Easy
I was
yawn.
recently thinking about what if you took like one of the biggest home run hitting baseball players and just for like a month had him go play cricket in like
Oh
Europe?
God, yeah.
I bet it would be amazing.
Yeah, I
Didn't
bet.
like Tim Tebow play baseball too, and he just like never made it out of AAA or something? I mean, he's about as good at baseball as he was at football.
You know, half the
Mm.
quarterbacks that are in the NFL right now were literally drafted by an MLB team.
Wasn't Tebow just famous because he was too Christian?
Probably much.
I didn't think he was actually a good player. I don't give a fuck about
God
football.
and football.
Yep. And
Leave
my
on,
wife.
brother.
That's all that Tim
And,
Tebow cared about. And then we have the other spectrum where God, football, and kissing his son is all Brady cares about.
No, you forget, the other side of the spectrum is Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel, which is football and tons of cocaine.
Well, how else would he run that?
Yeah,
fast?
well, it's funny because his career turned out the same way as the God and football guy. It just doesn't seem to matter.
Gotta be a lesson in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Cocaine, God, doesn't matter.
You're supposed to do steroids with cocaine to power over God, I think, or something. That's the message. I could be wrong. Someone test that. Someone do steroids and cocaine and then try to join the NFL. And we'll
is that in order?
Pretty sure that was just the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has
but
a point.
It's double.
Oh, it's double.
Oh wow.
Hey, Stubbs.
Good morning.
Man, Stubbs and Svensen, we're really knocking them out of the park. Is there a panel?
It's
Kind
my
of.
panel. Yeah, it's my panel.
Nice. All
Somebody ate the nuts. I just want to point this out.
Just missing Willie.
That's a weird
Neil
one.
and Kozlov.
Where should we get the cocaine?
There's a lot of evidence, right? Here's the problem with cocaine. You got to make sure that your dealer's not giving you fentanyl. Laced cocaine. That's the thing. Why, man? Why not? Whatever happened to just regular old cocaine? Now I gotta test my shit. Ugh, annoying.
Preach.
Pure Colombian nose candy.
And yeah, you know, last time I did coke was under the Del Perro Pier with a CI of mine off the back of a keyboard. So really,
It's actually kind of metal.
it was a dark time because it was at night and it was under a pier, so there wasn't much light. So yeah, always say don't follow my example. Test your cocaine before you do it under a pier with your CI. All right.
That wasn't the one where the drugs was
Yes.
the evidence, was it? That was a different thing.
No, this CI
Why about
supplied
to
it
have a panel,
himself.
Svensson?
What's
Try
up,
out
Mayo?
for the NFL.
I should have tried out for the NFL whenever I was doing my cocaine. I should have, but
I regret not trying more in football. in high
I just
school.
don't care about sports. I just could not, and I feel you have to care about it and
I really
also
should've.
want it to be good at something. You know,
I had no
And
motivation
just
back
didn't.
then. I'm not saying I ever would have made it to
I
even
still
college, but would have been nice to actually
Uh,
play. Like I gave a shit. in
I
high
don't
school.
know. I'd care about like. I don't know what sport I'd be good at. I'll come back to you on that one. Probably. I run a lot. Maybe track and field. I run to work every day.
Monster truck driving.
Is that a sport? Do they consider them sports?
It's a sport to me.
Nice.
You know what? That's a given.
I love
know
watching
that,
Tombstone
Yeah, the
drive across the crush those
pigskin.
little cars.
Tombstone is cool.
I love the pigskin.
That was also the name of wasn't that the name of the car from
Psycho
Death
Remix?
Race? Tombstone. Or they dropped the
Remix, yeah,
tombstone. That's what it was. It was the bulletproof thing on the back. Jason Statham. Well, that was the remake of
Great
Death Race.
guy.
But yeah, he's all right. I don't really know him personally.
Got a new movie coming out this
I
week.
have my bit locked and loaded whenever we're ready.
Well, let me just say, I think Jason Statham's just at the point where he'll do any movie, which is weird because he's making more money than ever. So why? He just pumps out random movies now. What's the deal with that?
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
They're
Bruce
just,
Willis is doing the same shit.
they're just fucking
Well,
around.
Tired.
Still.
Bruce Willis has
Yeah, he's got dementia.
Lewy body dementia. Same shit that fucking Robin Williams had.
Look at the stuff that he
Really
did in his
terrible.
later years of his career, and it's just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
I played, realized
Yeah,
I
all
wasn't
movies
going
fine.
to get a scholarship
Just be
and didn't want to
himself.
get concussion.
And it's real simple.
Honestly,
And he
that's
makes
the
money.
biggest thing.
Repeat
Like, they would
concussions
do
were-
very short shoots with him, and he would.
I always
just
played,
shoot lines.
I didn't play in a position that was going to
Whatever
get
he
a lot of concussions, I guess, in my view. I
Well,
guess
mean,
it's
if you're
true.
Bruce Willis, you can kind of.
I ended up escaping without any concussions. I
Who
just
the
wish
hell
I'd
just
tried
changed and
harder,
stood
I
up back
guess.
there?
Wish I'd given it more of a go. You know, wish I'd pushed
Oh.
myself more.
Must have been.
But
the
we
wind.
can say, you know, we can do
Must have had too much
Lexington, you
coffee.
got something?
Yeah.
Hey, get your ass up here with your fucking eye bit.
I'm doing it backwards today.
That's. You're gonna show their entire face and then narrow down to their eyes.
No, I'm just going from bottom to top.
Oh God.
I don't think that's
At the
backwards.
bottom,
All
now
right.
here.
Who sings that, Mayo?
I don't know.
I know you don't know.
Position I play? I always wanted to play tight ends, super bad.
I really hope so.
But I was always
Fiddlesticks.
stuck on the O line, defensive
Alright.
line, O line.
Lilith Fulker.
Okay, so starting at 25 grand, every time I have to expand it, it goes down by $5,000. I have made this one a lot easier. If you guys are not able to get this, we're gonna need to have a class on how to ID people.
Oh, that's Mr. K.
Those are more.
Connor Stubble.
Is
Good
it
guess, Ozzy,
not?
good guess.
Is it not River Cheever?
Is that what
Kicker
you call
came
us?
close like 3
No, I
times
don't.
because my high school
Okay,
defense
I'm
was the
gonna
worst thing in the world.
expand it.
You mean your O line? Yeah. I feel like offensive line is one of the
Lilith Fulker.
worst
I know you got
most
Carmelo on your mind
underappreciated parts
always,
of
but,
football.
this shift doesn't really know her.
for amateur watchers.
Is that Dan Bailey?
Dan
That's
Bailey.
Dan Bailey, yeah. That's the Dan Bailey chin.
Dan Bailey.
That's
He's
the
not
Bailey
even
chin.
gonna defend himself.
Are we sure this
Like
is
nobody
Dan
gives O line
Bailey?
any credit.
No.
I mean,
Unless you're
I'm
like a
pretty
real
fucking
football
sure after that chin.
fan.
Yeah, I'm
No,
pretty
but-
Yes.
Hoodie.
Yeah?
The colo gets me.
And you definitely miss it when you don't have it, though.
It is not Dan Faley.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Why
That
are you guys lip IDing Dan?
chin IDing. Chin IDing.
Now I'm lip IDing him.
I was
Do you
doing
have-
dumb hoodie ID.
Do you have one more guess before we go down another 5?
Dude, for real. I think watching tight ends are my favorite part of football still. I always really wanted to be a tight ends.
This person is in PD.
What was his
I
name?
will say that.
Fuck, dude, there was
PD? I thought we were doing
There's a tight end who retired like 2 years ago that I used to watch
guys
shit,
never
maybe
get
like
the
5 years ago
warrants.
now.
I studied today.
It was I think it was a Cowboys tight ends.
Switch it up.
I was like super.
In PD.
In PD.
I was always a super big fan of in high school.
In this room.
Before I gave up on football.
Not answering
show
any
us the
further
sign.
questions.
Me, once I've
I
shaved.
forget who it was.
It's not like
Whitman. Sorry, yeah. Yep.
Lucas Lavender.
He must have retired like probably 6 or 7 years ago at this point, I'm guessing, but it feels like just a few years ago.
Show the eye.
A tight end in football is like a big dude who plays receiver. It's the best way I could put it. It's like a
Dan
Dan
Faley.
Faley.
That's
That's Dan
Kylie.
Faley.
it's like an offensive lineman that doubles as a
that Vale?
receiver, but like
Kylie.
not as big. Like a
Kylie Stokes, yeah, 100%.
like somewhere between a wide receiver and an offensive line.
CPD uniform.
That's a CPD uniform.
It is
yeah.
a CPD uniform.
It might be
Yeah.
right from the wiki.
No, it's literally me taking a picture of you in this meeting.
Is that
Doesn't look like Dan.
Is that Kyle Pratt?
Dan has a feminine chin.
Brock
Dan
Lesnar.
has
Yeah.
boyish features.
Guys, you are horrible at this.
Hey, there she is.
Is that not Dan Faley?
That's Dan Faley. Before he got fired by LSPD.
Take it 5 minutes ago.
Prove it.
Dude, I am
Hey,
geographically
it's not my
a
fault
Cowboys
I
fan.
fucking see a camera in your hand.
I have to be. I
I'm
grew up in
sorry, I'll say
Oklahoma.
It's not her fault either.
Live in
I'll say it.
Arkansas.
Not my fault.
I get to choose between the Cowboys
Maybe you should get man
or the
hands.
Chiefs right now.
Yeah, I like having.
I lived in San Diego and was born in San Diego, so I could be a Chargers fan.
I
But they
also
moved to
will say
LA,
that
so
couldn't
I'm not
use
going to be a Chargers
anybody's
fan.
mugshot
I'm not
in
going to do
this
it.
entire
They moved to
room
LA.
because y'all
Also, the
have
Chargers
weird
are
fucked up
fucking
mugshots.
awful right now, so.
You
Yeah.
My one is great.
My mugshot's amazing.
Chargers are dog shit, so I'm not going to root for them, even though I really would have liked to be a Chargers
Dan
fan.
Faley, right?
Yeah, it's Dan Feely.
All right.
The Chief, yeah. They're called the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know. I don't really feel like a Chiefs fan. I've always kind of cheered for the Cowboys because my dad did. And they're the closest team to us geographically. Never
I
been,
should
no.
know it because I see it in my nightmares.
But this is a
because
good
she
year to
wants
be a
fucking
Cowboys
kill me.
fan. We might actually win.
This is a bit of a retread from yesterday, but a lot of you
It
missed
happened.
it, and I do have a pretty big update.
could
at
be
the
our
end of
year.
it, but
Oh,
so
an
for a long-
MRPD update?
Yeah, well, kind of.
Are we
Kind of.
getting like
I'm trying to update something
a
about
captain's
it.
office that doesn't buzz?
No. Just hold your horses. I'll explain.
all
So,
right.
you know, our beloved MRPD has been the target of all kinds of violence and bombings, and you know, the building kind of has like a bit of a
Titans fan.
branding
It
problem.
is a
at
tough
this
time to be a
point, but
Titans fan
I
in
brought you a
history.
solution. Some of you saw this last night.
Put a chain gang spray on it.
Only thing worse than being a Titans fan has got to be like a Browns fan. Or Jets, I guess,
So
this
instead
year.
of MRPD, we call it Mr. PD, right? It's friendlier, it's humanizing, it's opening it up to all kinds of branding and merchandising opportunities as well. Nobody will want to blow up Mr. PD because Mr. PD is your friend.
Nick Chubb, I know, I
He's your
heard.
neighbor.
I didn't see the game because I was
Yeah,
sleeping,
he's like
but
a mascot, right? For
dude,
the
I don't-
update,
I think
I've
Sab
been
being-
speaking with some
Okay,
architects
I'm gonna mute this a
through
little
the
bit.
internet.
I think Sab being a Browns fan explains so much about his personality and the way that he's like, the way that he interacts with humans. He's seen the depths of humanity every year with his football team. So everything is so positive to him, and he's so nice and kind and genuine because he's a fucking Browns fan. For people who don't follow American football, the Cleveland Browns are an American football team that lose every year. They're awful. It's just like they've never been good. I mean, I don't know when the last time they even were like a decent team. Every year they're kind of like maybe this could be their year, and it never is. And it's just it's just the ultimate suffering for being a sports fan because every year it's gonna be the year. It's gonna turn it around, and then they never do. I'm not super big on Browns history. I don't know like when the last time they actually had a chance at, but this year they actually looked pretty solid in their first game, and they came out in the second game, and like their star, I think it was a running back, is Chubb a running back?
Or first screen.
Got his like leg shattered, and then the first I don't know, first set of plays, or it wasn't the first set of plays. It was pretty far through the game, but anyway.
Who knows? Maybe we can go.
Just like their entire year is just fucking discombobulated because they lost their star running back. The guy who runs the balls for touchdowns.
Sterwin, did you come into my meeting late?
Yes.
How do I feel for Meech and the Giants? Oh, fuck Meech and the Giants, dude. The Giants have been good, or at least decent, for a while. Like, I think they won a Super Bowl like at least 10 years ago. We're talking about Browns who haven't won it in like 40, 50 years. They were wearing leather helmets, I think.
No, get up here.
Oh, okay, 1 second.
Get up here at the podium of Mr. PD.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bob Sterwin.
Hello, Bob.
Hi, Bob. Hey, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Yesterday, Mr. Barrick got attacked by nuts.
Oh shit.
I never feel bad for the Giants. I will feel bad for the Jets because I watched Hard Knocks, the HBO show that covers training camp, and my God, the Jets just seem so positive. It seemed like they really had a chance, and now it's just gone. But dude, if Aaron Rodgers comes back this season, that'd be crazy.
Stop people from nutting on other people.
That'd be fucking insane.
Yeah, good luck with that, homie.
All right. Yeah, no.
Also,
I think...
yesterday, I went to Sanguine Wild. I thought that I should confront my fears. In the heart of darkness. And I stood on a plane. There's me on the plane.
I'm a Packers fan. Don't feel bad for the Jets.
I had a lot of fun.
That's a good photo.
Yes.
I think we feel a little bit bad for the Jets.
My power suit. See,
I'll turn the volume back up.
I have my green helmet on, and I had gloves and boots. It was my power suit, and it protected me from the radiation. Also, what protected me from the radiation was the fact that when I was a child, my uncle gave me this mug, and he told me never tell anyone about this mug at all. But you guys are all so special to me. I'm gonna tell you.
You know, I really
And
followed
this
the
mug,
Vikings
he said,
since
"Make sure
Adrian
don't tell
Peterson
your parents
left.
or anyone else about it."
AP.
And I didn't. But this mug, he said, it was made out of lead, and he said, Bob, if you drink from this lead mug for long enough, then you'll be protected from all radiation. So I've been drinking exclusively from a lead mug
Cousins
since a very
deserves
young
better,
age.
though.
And so I've been
Nice.
protected from all forms of radiation.
Hey, good for you.
Nice.
F-35 U.S. military loss.
No, I
Sick
think he's
reference.
Not
Sick reference.
No, not dead.
What?
No, we just
He's
haven't found him yet.
MIA. He's not confirmed alive.
sea shanty duty again.
I did a sea shanty yesterday as well. I sung.
Dude,
and
Kirk
he
is
didn't
a.
come out.
He might be kind of a weirdo. Like he might be kind of like.
Really good rendition.
It was.
He may be a little too Christian for me.
It was the Wellerman.
But
This was a good
he's kind of
presentation, Bob.
he's a good football player,
Thank you.
man.
That was my day yesterday.
He's a good football player.
Have a good
Mentioned there was an
one.
attack.
Bye-bye.
There was an attack. Was this? Did anyone see the? Is this the culprit? Was this the guy?
That's the naughty nutter.
Naughty nutter.
That's
That's
what we're
the
looking
naughty
for?
nutter.
Okay.
That's the impersonator because we locked up the original one.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even
I
wearing
think
pants,
on
dude.
Derek-
I'll let
I'm at
HBQ
least
know.
like
Well, hold on, before we-
73.4% certain that that is sweets.
Probably. Before we continue, though, everyone, you may know that I give Sterwin a grade at the start of each shift, and then he can go up or down a letter grade, half steps, you name it, depending on his performance. I'll say that presentation garners you starting the shift at an A+, Sterwin.
Oh!
But you are, hold on, I'm not done, but you are immediately down to a D+ after betraying your grandfather's trust.
No!
Yeah.
He was my uncle.
Uncle,
He's-
whatever.
Wherever he is right now, he's so disappointed in you.
Yeah.
I think he's in jail.
Most Australians were, right?
He's
Isn't
in
that
the,
kind of the
the
lore of the
Sanguinian thing.
continent?
That's what the whole point of that island is. It's a big
Yeah.
prison. so
Penal
that's what-
colony.
Penal Colony is a bar off of Abe Milton, and it's a great bar. Just a
What?
bunch of fellas going there, and they hang out, and they just let it hang.
Is that the one that Miss Lily Pond opened?
Negative, Ghost Rider. That's the.
I think the
42
Commanders
across
might have
the
been
street
really
on
good
Center
if they could have
and,
paid
the
Kirk what he
corner of
was
Vespucci
owed
and Center.
back like 6 years
Penal
ago.
Colony
5
is
years ago, 4
a
years ago,
bar
whatever.
That's mainly male dominated, and
The
there's a
fucking
lot of male
Commanders just
domination
paid
in
Kirk.
there. And it's off of Abe Milton.
That's pathetic, honestly.
It's hard to miss. It's behind the courthouse. It's
Other
really
serially
good. It's
bad
where- it's
team, which is
where
bad
Abe
management
Milton
decisions.
transitions into,
Had a
South
franchise
Boulevard
quarterback and
right
they threw it
there. It's a very
away.
good bar.
Are there lots of big dogs there?
There's people wear leashes, and some people pretend to be dogs.
Oh, wow. Mr. Barrick sounds like something that you'd be into.
You keep the.
Yeah, Barrick, you should give it a try, Big Eric.
Yes, you'd be the biggest dog
Wow.
in the entire penal colony.
They have
Nuts in, like,
they
dogs,
have
right?
big men walking other men on all fours.
Mr.
And they
Barrick, would you
pretend to
like
be
to?
dogs.
Mr. Barrick likes to bark for me when we're on duty
Wait,
together.
Can you demonstrate that, please,
What?
Mr. Big Eric?
Yes,
That-
yes, you should show everyone how you bark.
Show us your best bark.
Huh.
Show us your best
Show,
bark.
oh, they,
Barrick.
they say in Mirror Park, show us you got that dog in ya. Have you
Come
got
on,
that dog
Barrick.
in ya?
How about I do a bark?
Nah.
And then you.
Nah.
Yeah, Bloom heard
Come
me
on,
barking
Barrick.
for the
Nah, I'm not barking. I'm not
Barrick.
barking. That is no.
Oh, Colin. All right.
Just
Well,
for
I guess
Bob
that's
then?
just him and Starwin's thing. Maybe
Cowan.
Frost.
I don't think
You're
at all,
Starwin's little
you know,
pooch. All right. Nothing wrong with
He's
that.
my little guy.
Nothing wrong with
He's
that.
just a little guy.
It's weird you're not like denying it, but you're just saying you don't want to bark for us.
Well, everybody's just like coming straight
It would
at
be
me about it,
weirder.
so I'm like, I
It
don't
would be
know how
weirder
to
if you did
deny it.
deny it, because this sounds pretty concrete that it's a fact.
I mean, it's not concrete at all. It's not a thing at all. So.
bark like a big dog or a little
Why are you,
dog?
I make
why
the
are you
pavement out of
opening up
concrete.
that IFAC? Are you sweating, Big Eric?
No, but I am starving.
Oh jeez. Oh, here I got some food for you, buddy. Here you
Bark
go.
like a chihuahua.
There you go, Mr. Big Eric.
Is your dog named Peanut?
All right, Big Eric. Now that you're already up at the podium, how about we hear that bark?
I don't bark at all.
Please, Mr. Barrick, please. Do it for them like you do for
Can
me.
you confirm or deny that?
I actually can tell you, I don't bark at all. Like,
Edda, do you care?
Is
to
anyone
comment?
seeing this? Does Harvey have to pee? Why is he standing like that? That doesn't look anything like
I
me.
wanted to. I just didn't want to interrupt everyone. but
You have to pee or something, little guy?
You look like you got a pee, Harvey.
Yeah, you
I'm
really
not,
are.
not even close,
Bob
man.
is just very hyper.
You've been off the entire
right
time.
now.
You've been off for like
It's
10
very
minutes, man.
interesting.
Yeah,
He
longer.
put
He's
his
sick.
hand on his shoulders and do the whole like you have genitals thing.
Who didn't do that,
Remember,
Patty?
no, said Bob did that to Barrick.
That's true. Bob and Barrick have something.
They
We know
love
that
this
for
is
sure.
this is a complete one-way thing. It is not.
Yeah, no, it's
All
Bob
right,
is just a
all
little
right.
obsessed.
So we get it. Y'all aren't a
And
switch. It's
there
a
you
one-way
go.
thing.
Bob,
Yep.
Bob.
See, no, dear, what you have to do is you have to set your
Oh, no.
boundaries.
Hello, my name is Bob. I'm here to bark for Mr. Barrick because he doesn't want to. Bark, bark,
No,
bark, bark, bark,
no.
bark, 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 bark,
my
bark.
Well,
I got that
there
dog
it
in
is.
me. Yeah, bark, bark,
Well,
bark.
there you
Bark,
go.
bark, bark,
There it
bark.
is.
Terrible
it's like it's really
barking.
coming out of.
Homeless man at
It's like it's
Burger Shot.
coming right out of Barrick. Though.
Yes,
You're the
just
only
pretend
one that
he's the
can
one
stop
saying
it.
It's not.
I,
like it's
It's
coming
like
out of
Barrick. It's like Big Eric's your mouthpiece.
I can't let the charade go on any further. That doesn't even sound like barking. You're just saying the word bark rapidly.
What?
That doesn't
What do
even
you
sound
mean?
like
Here, you know
barking.
what I got?
What?
Whenever
Did someone teach this guy how to bark? That you're just saying
whenever,
bark, 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 bark. That's not what they sound like.
whenever
Have you ever heard a dog?
95
Do they have dogs in Australia?
Yes.
Dingoes, I think.
Dingoes,
Whenever a
yeah.
95 calls me cringe, and if I'm not busy calling them a pussy, I usually bark at them like this. Like, oh, 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 oh,
There you go.
My man sounded like Patrick Star.
Yeah, it sounds like Patrick. Yeah.
And then
You do sound like Patrick stuff.
Does anyone in the back want to bark?
You
Show
sound
us
like
if
you've been
got that dog in
startled.
ya.
do I sound like Patrick, or does Patrick sound like a dog?
I mean,
That's the question
oh,
everyone
my.
here.
Both- both could be true.
Hey, I
Oh,
barked
watch
at
out for
Charlie
that.
Rolling, rolling.
when we were in that foot chase earlier.
I
He
think I
does
did bark
sound
at someone
just
during
like
a foot
Patrick
chase earlier.
Star.
No, I did. Remember? You told
Nah,
me.
Bozo's fine. He's sitting right next to me on
Totally
my
canine.
desk. He's good.
Oh yeah, I do recall that. Yes.
He's used to my
that person
bullshit.
Got away because Patty decided to jump off a bridge.
He did. I was having.
Totally used to my bullshit.
Yeah. Kurt, you got your song of the day ready?
Yeah, I
I
always
suppose
got
it's
that.
ever even
Is it a
heard a
bad
dog.
one?
It's never
You know what a
bad.
dog sounds like?
All right, come on.
I'm not sure he does. I mean, I guess he knows what they sound like. He just may not be able to correlate it with danger. Because he's never really been in danger, little guy. Lived here safe inside my apartment. He's only really gone outside on his adventures at like
Alright,
midnight
guys,
or
song
later.
of the day. We just try to guess the song title line by line. I fucking hate you, Kylie. I was so close.
Friday.
She is the worst.
She
Kylie
is the
might be the
worst.
worst in this room right now.
I
Which
was
is
so
hard.
fucking close. I was so close. Anyway, song of the day. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's fucking get
let's
this
hear it.
started. It's gonna be some shit. I
Numb,
don't
Linkin
know.
Park.
No.
I've become so numb. Alien and Far movies.
No.
All right.
First line is, all she want to do is hurt me.
All I'm gonna do is hurt me.
This seems like a country song.
Yeah, it does. It does seem like a country song. You hear the
Sure.
fucking acoustic guitar in the background already.
Sure.
Is it Florida Georgia Line?
No.
Because nobody ever sings about pain.
You guys think I know country?
I don't fucking know.
I
country,
think you
so-
might know a little pop country. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss it.
Yeah, it is hard.
Some like
I'd say you know no
I've
country
done like
country.
one pop country.
Taylor
I
Swift.
think I've done one.
T Swift is not. Well, I'm not gonna get into that.
I think she'd be pop country.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, more. I don't know. Kind of like ballads. More like ballads.
The theme.
I remember how
terrified.
Bass asked me to go to Taylor Swift concert with him, and then he died.
Yeah, I thought
Did you
guys
get the
were
tickets?
supposed to
Those
be
are
there.
probably expensive as fuck.
Wait, yeah,
No,
if you
he
get those
never
tickets,
gave me
I'll buy
them.
those tickets from you
He
right
never
now.
gave me them.
Fuck.
He looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Bloom, I wanna get lost with you."
I thought you
don't-
guys were supposed to get the first live strike at a concert.
Well, he's dead now. Thanks for reminding him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
no,
to
I'm
be fair,
fine
he
with
brought
that.
it up.
I don't care.
Very sad.
I found it weird.
Anyways,
He asked me to go to
next
Taylor Swift.
line. So I gotta get away from her.
Theme to Paw Patrol.
No.
Say them together.
You said yeah.
No.
You said.
What?
Wheels on the bus.
You can't
Around
say
and
them
around.
like together.
All right, guys. Little hint: early 2000s.
Early 2000.
He
All she
said the
wanna do
line.
is
There was a
hurt
lot
me.
of
Can you
talking.
s-
Okay.
Can you say the lines
Thank you.
together? Or
All she want to do
What
is
was the
hurt.
first line and the second line?
So I had to.
All
let it
she
go.
wanna do is hurt me. So I gotta get away from her.
Feels like this is a
Watch this. I've got a good one.
Boys to Men song, but they're in the name.
T-Pain.
Quick, what was the name of the song again?
You tried it.
Damn it.
You really tried it.
Damn it. Damn it.
I'm pretty sure it's a T-Pain song.
T-Pain song.
Yep.
I have no idea, man.
Where are them girls at?
No.
Oh man, that's not early.
That's
I
like
don't know.
mid.
that is. It's
It's like
like
mid. It's Flow Rider. It's fucking mid. It's
yeah.
you do realize where the 2000s are.
Yeah.
She sprung.
She's sprung.
I'm strong. I'm strong.
Yeah,
Isn't-
I'm sprung.
Oh, you dumbass! You fucked up the title. You dumbass. sorry. It's Jigs. I didn't.
Yeah, I'm sprung. T-Pain
Sorry, you
came out
gave it to me.
2005. There you guys
Right.
go.
I still. I'll be honest. I still don't know the lyrics of that. I just
like
played
the
off of the
chorus.
fact he leaked it.
Everyone knows the chorus.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember the.
What is the chorus?
I'm trying to remember it.
This is
what
when
I'm
I
saying.
pull it up on Spotify.
I just know the
Listen
song
to
"I'm
it.
Sprung," and I know he messed it up when he said "my sprung."
She sprung.
She sprung. Oh, yeah. What the fuck? How's that song go?
Guys, are we done? Or are we?
Oh hell! I always gotta send them off with some encouraging words. As always, Svensen. Anyone's clear to leave this whenever, because really, who cares, you know? Recap, snore. Am I right? Everyone, please make sure to hug the officer next to you. Metaphorically, don't touch me, because you never know when they're gonna die in the line of duty. All right, guys. I'll see y'all out there.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See everyone out there.
It's my
Okay.
panel, Svensen.
You're not gonna. Shut up, man. Get the fuck away from me.
Everyone,
Ooh.
see y'all out
Barrack,
there.
captain's office.
All right.
All right.
His name's Big Eric on this shift.
Yeah, it's Big Eric.
Same thing. It's Big Eric Barrack.
Probably.
Alright.
I'm gonna get her ass home.
Guys, in. You need to talk?
No.
Yep, I did this 'cause no
Okay,
one would do
hello.
it.
Hi.
I'll be okay tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going home
just-
sick. My birds have the pox.
Whenever Bozo's sleeping, like next to me, kind of like napping, dozing, he does this thing with his tail, like just the tip of it. He just wags the tip of it back and forth. So cute. I know he's awake though, because he's doing it still.
What did I do?
More like, what didn't you do?
Oh no.
Why didn't you bark for your friend up there, man? What happened?
I have morals. And it's
Like
not
it's
true.
barking?
Yeah. So I'm not trying to frost up the place. That's all what happened to that.
Kind of frost up the place. What does that mean?
Well, he like
Oh,
yeah.
Remember how Frost got
He
kicked to
doesn't-
UPD?
Oh, I thought you. Okay,
What-
yeah.
Well, one of the things that Frost did was he ordered a UPD person to bark and like get below a table during like the interviews.
Classic.
Yeah.
I forgot
mean-
that Frost was a person and that you're using it as a verb. I just completely forgot about.
He's like the
Jamie.
ghost of Shift 3 PBSO past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Could have been the
like-
future, and now he's the past.
Yeah.
Damn.
People think, what would Frost do? They just do the other thing.
Wow.
Yeah. He's
Good thing to live by.
He's a great guy. He's just trying to find his spark.
Still looking. Still looking. It's been like
Barrick, sit on the sofa.
okay.
I'm grabbing the questions that we're gonna have consistently. We said 4, right?
Yeah, somewhere like that.
I was thinking the first one should be name.
That's probably unnecessary, to be honest with you.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
But if I write down all these questions, then we forget whose they go with.
I reckon we could just write it down without asking him.
Yeah, but what if he has like a middle name? And there's another Barrick Johnson. And then...
Is there another
Barrick?
Barrick
Is there another
Johnson?
Barrick Johnson? First question.
No, there's not.
There's only one.
I am the one, the only one.
Okay.
Oh, Barrick's your first name? Good God. Who the fuck named you that? Is it like a family name or something?
I don't think so.
Where's it
just,
from? Like, what's the history of that name?
I think it's like.
Are you pulling your MDW to look up where the history of your own name is?
No, I'm in one of those people that in like
He's hitting Google.
in times of like crisis, I just pull out my phone.
Pull your phone or MDW because you don't want to be confronted.
Yeah.
He's
Trying
like
to-
in a
trying to
shootout,
pull up
he's like, shots fired.
a phone move.
Yeah,
Truly a
just like that.
trooper phones move right
True
there.
phone guy.
That happened with trooper
78.
phones.
It's the MDW. I haven't seen phones in ages.
Yeah, I think he quit.
Shame. I think it's the embarrassment of getting shot down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually talked to him 2 days ago about that, and he said he didn't know what happened. It wasn't a rocket or a missile or anything. I guess he crashed.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he just exploded. I'm like, that's bullshit. You just crashed, man.
Well, I got shot down by Angelina Jolie.
No, that's bullshit. I think you guys just crashed.
You ever
Planes
seen
don't
the hit
just
movie Wanted with
planes don't
Angelina
just
Jolie?
do that, man.
Well, I'm not saying I just crashed.
Planes don't just do
Angelina
that.
Jolie. They pulled a bullet out of my lower stomach, even though I was at 3,500 feet, and the nose of the plane.
Well, you
was
probably
aimed
ate a
up.
bullet or something, doofus.
No, what happened is
That's so
Angelina
silly,
Jolie
dude.
shot a sniper
You don't
bullet,
eat the bullets, Connor.
The bullet curved through the plane.
You're supposed to shoot
And it
the
hit me.
bullets at the bad guys, not eat them. Oh, that's so
No, I
silly.
didn't eat the bullet. Angelina Jolie, the sanguinian tied it for some reason. Psychos.
She's like pushing 60 now, right? Good lord.
Something like that.
70. Yeah, really old.
Yeah. Look at it, huh?
All right, Barrick, you might be wondering why we brought you in here in Shift 3 at this
Yeah.
godforsaken hour.
Oh,
Which
it's
is
like
the start. Okay,
morning,
that's my selfie.
you know.
At the start of his shift, the time that he's usually on duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might be wondering.
A little bit, yeah.
That's just gonna go off.
Is that Harvey?
No,
Is that
it's actually. It was Harvey. I'd answer it and tell him to fuck off.
I'm
It's
putting it on.
It's COVID
silent.
chicks. So, yeah, it's already on silent. It's just gonna keep going though.
All right. Well, we took a look at the interest forms yesterday, and we are starting the interviews for the PBSO lieutenant, and you are one of the people that are interested. So
Oh yes, that.
that's what this is. Surprise. No time to schedule it. No time to plan it out. We're just freeballing it because we want to see, what's really going on in that head and what you want to do with it all. So we have some questions that we're going to do consistently across all the interviews. So we'll have the same answers with everybody. But we also have some stuff where we're just going to shoot the shit, talk one-on-one, and we'll just see where it goes. We've already done the first question, which was name. But there wasn't really like a consistent. It was like the Big Eric, the only. It's
Is
just
there like
Eric.
nicknames too, or is it?
Are you
made up in his
officially
name?
recognizing Big Eric as your nickname now?
I recognize it as a nickname, like all the others.
So originally you hated it and denied it.
Is that what Barrick is short for? Big Eric?
That's how it started. Lucian came into a meeting and was like, "I'm convinced that Barrick is short for Big Eric," and that's how it all started. And it's just caught on.
Yeah, given
How did my box already fall apart?
Yeah, that's what happens.
In a day?
Yep. Not even in a day. It takes like 6 hours. They're not built very well.
Things suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It happens.
prop myself
It
up
happens.
against, like,
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's a great question. But I would like to say just doing something I enjoy, because that is ultimately what I think is most important. I don't like to think about the future too much or stay. I kind of just dug in the past. Kind of live in the present. Take it a
just
day
like
at
a
a
free
time.
bullet, huh?
Yeah. I mean, everybody can have as much of a plan as they want to, but ultimately they're going to be free balling it anyway.
Are all your answers going to be such non-answers as doing something I enjoy in 5 years?
Possibly.
Well, then
We'll write that down.
I'm not going to provide any answers.
All right, what's the biggest issue with the PBSO right now?
That's a great question.
It's not on the NDW.
Yeah, I know. I'd say it's like maybe a communication thing. But I think that's a wider PD thing more than a PBSO problem.
I could be more direct on this question. Let me phrase it like this. What is the biggest issue in the PBSO that you think you could solve as a lieutenant? That you being a lieutenant would solve?
I don't know. I truthfully, at least for like my time when I'm around, I don't really see any issues. So that's how
I was holding a tennis racket, but now the tennis racket's gone because I'm
I
sitting
don't know.
down.
I wouldn't say there's anything per se.
There's no issues that you could solve as a lieutenant?
I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of issues I could solve, but I can't identify any issues at this time.
Why do you want to be a lieutenant?
Well, as I was talking to Sept about this yesterday. I'm interested in it, but I don't believe that I deserve it.
You're not really
Why's
selling
that?
yourself here. I got to be honest.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's not that I don't think I could do the job or anything like that, but I just heavily believe in a lot of the people that came before me, and I believe that they deserve their time to kind of like step up and be in that spot.
Why'd you put your name in if you felt that way?
Well, like I said, it was an interest for me. You know, like I'm interested in it, but it's I feel like other people would be better at put in that spot.
Is it like interview nerves, or do you truly feel this way?
No, I truly feel this way. Because, like, and I talked to Sept about this as well, like, there's nothing that giving me, like, lieutenant could do that would change the shift or change how I'm doing anything right now. Like, it's not, like, I have the
He's
ability
not
to
selling
do everything that
himself
I need
at
to
all.
do currently, and, like, push forward what I'm trying to do, which is just build up the shift.
Bro does not want lieutenant.
Like train people and everything. But yeah, there's nothing a higher position would really do for me, I guess. And like I said, most importantly, there's just a lot of other people that I believe in. And I figured, you know, worst comes worst. This is at the very least a time that I get to sit down and talk to both of you about things and how I feel about certain things.
Bar has been set pretty low for the first interview. I'm gonna let Stubble ask questions because I don't.
You don't want Lieutenant. What, you're interested.
I do.
Kind of
but I
talked
don't think
himself
I
out of
deserve
it, in my mind.
Okay, so you want Lieutenant, but you don't think you deserve it because there's other people that do.
I deserve it more.
Well, let's forget about them, and let's just pretend you're the only person.
Okay.
What changes if you get Lieutenant from Sergeant?
He thinks nothing changes. He's already said that. You know what? Stuff wants
Not
to
a whole
hear.
lot. I mean, I'm still going to be on duty every day, doing the same thing that I do. I don't know. I guess I would just probably spend a lot more time reaching out to the people of other shifts to see how they're doing and
Put the spatula down.
just
Stop
kind of
cooking, man.
spending more. Because when I'm around in the other shifts, I don't focus too much on the patrol aspect of things and little like minute fuck ups to like helping people improve. Right now, I kind of just like chill out and patrol, as opposed to like right now, paying a lot more attention to it during this time. I guess if I was in that position, I'd just be essentially doing that for all 3 shifts.
You said the biggest issue in
that's me.
PBSO, but also in the wider PD, was communication.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you
So
doing?
how do you fix that?
Just holding people accountable.
What is he
and pushing
doing?
People to actually communicate properly.
Holding people accountable. How?
Svensen, what are you doing with your hands?
I don't know, whatever punishment is like deemed necessary, I suppose. People will get the point eventually.
Okay, I've lost the chair now.
You press people's buttons enough, and
No chair. We're just
whether you
sitting.
annoy the shit out of them or not, they'll get the point. And they'll start doing it.
So is this kind of like a communication about reprimanding and like enforcing a stand? I'm trying to read between the lines here because, you know, as Owen said, vague answers, Barrick. Vague answers.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I am as a person. Like, I'm
vague.
If you ask me on the spot, it's probably going to be pretty vague because I would like to think I'm like somewhat of a calculated person and don't just kind of give outright out of the gate answers because I like to weigh different sides of things before
Like
I
to go on both sides first.
Yeah.
You ever land in the middle?
The fence is a dangerous place. It's a dangerous place.
Yeah, I'm thinking
to sit on.
You're not really a fence guy. You're more of like a no answer guy. Because a fence position like Malton would say, well, I think me being lieutenant would be great for the department. I could do a lot. And I think there's a lot of other people that could also do a lot. But you've just said pretty much nothing at all.
That's fair.
Speaking the truth, Barrick.
Yeah. That's
I mean, do you want to like
spot on?
Do you want like some silence to think about your answers so you can calculate?
No, that's all right. I mean, I understand the reality is that you can't always have that kind of time to think about shit like that.
Yeah, the time for vagueness is not now.
Okay.
We want to know like the truth. Or we want just quick answers. To go back to the rigid questions, I don't think we should talk about weaknesses. They're already there. What's your biggest strengths, Barrick?
He's just gonna give non-answers, I think.
I would argue what I just mentioned before being like calculated is something I like to hold like near and dear to myself, because I think a lot of people just get kind of wrapped up in like the emotions of a situation or something like that, instead of just kind of weighing everything properly before making a decision.
So this is on the field.
Right, it's on the field. It's, you know, in the office, stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people don't weigh both sides to things and look at it from all the appropriate angles necessary.
So you're a decision maker.
Eventually, yeah, once I get all the actual
watching this,
like facts and information necessary.
What have you done for PBSO Shift 3 in the last 6 months?
That's a good question.
I guess air quotations, hired people and trained them and attempted to build up the roster and just steer the ship in the proper direction that it was in before, and just trying to get back to that place.
Do you think
We were at,
PBSO
like,
Shift 3 is better than it was before the restructure?
No.
Why is that?
No.
I mean, it's. I want to be real. It's pretty foolish to even look at that and have any kind of idea that it could be.
I've just never
better than it
seen
was
someone
before
throw
right
so
now,
hard.
because
This is truly
yeah,
astounding.
So many more people before, and you know, pre-restructure, we were like averaging like 20 to 30 people on duty every single day, as for the shift as a whole, and now it's, you know, a third of that probably, sometimes half. So, needless to say, things are not great since then.
I mean, are numbers the only metric you look at?
Not per se, but it does go in. A lot of things impact that for sure.
What else do you look at when you consider the status of your shift?
Morale, how people are feeling, like what makes them want to come on duty, what makes them want to like not, and kind of what their grievances are, and what can better improve life on patrol to make them actually stick around and want to get on duty every day.
How's that going?
The days that they're able to. Not great, quite frankly, because to a certain degree, a lot of things are out of my control.
What's out of your control that you could would be in your control as a lieutenant, or like what do you need done for shift 3? What is the what are the issues you see plaguing shift 3?
It's just morale to be on duty, and
what would fix that?
Probably answers and people knowing that people were held accountable, I guess. I don't know.
Answers on what?
Yeah.
This is kind of what I was talking about the other day of like the whole, not panel thing, but the like anonymous questionnaire and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people, especially during this time, you know, the war was was a massive shot to the heart for people that truly believed in like our command and high command, and essentially all these things happened without like real answers for a lot of people.
Answers on what though specifically?
Like everything about the war as to why we went and all the like minute details.
Did they not read the press statement?
I mean, yeah, but I would argue a lot of people feel that the time from, you know, the end of the war, air quotations, you know, it's not really over, but at least the battle to the statement release, there's a lot of damage done.
By what?
By just silence.
I mean, okay, we're not even in interview territory now. Now I'm actually like confused. Do they expect us to give a statement about the war when 2 out of the 3 high command members present during the war were in the ICU?
See, I
Who's
understand.
supposed to
and
go into the
agree with
ICU and
that.
read their minds and say, "Stubble, please, we need to make a statement now." I don't know about that.
See, again, I'm not saying I agree with this feeling, but I'm saying that is.
But you have the power to give answers about this. You knew Stubble was in the ICU. You knew Dark was in the
yeah,
ICU.
and I told them that, but that doesn't change.
But they have the
fact of-
answers, and that doesn't fix it. What do they want then if it's not answers?
I just want answers. Like, I mean, I understand there were like, the counter argument. Yeah, had a couple high command members in ICU.
The only, to be clear, I wasn't there. Reed wasn't there. Tessa was back here on the mainland during it. So the only 3 people from high command that were there on the day of the war were Stubble, Dark, and Axel. Axel's deceased, and Dark and Stubble were in the ICU for a week afterwards. We can't talk to them. We don't know what their status is or their position or what happens or what the press release needs to say. It's impossible to communicate that stuff if they're not conscious, right? But you have that
I would agree.
information, and are you disseminating that?
No, I'm giving them that information, but I'd say for the majority of the PD, that's probably not acceptable per se.
It's
It
not
can still be-
acceptable for people to be in the ICU.
Well, that's respectfully, that's just like kind of twisting what I was saying. Like, but at least to not give any kind of statement at all. It's okay if you have limited information at the time, but just essentially all these things going on without being really briefed on what's happening is probably, well, not a good look per se. And I'm not saying I didn't fill people in on the information that I have. I was very open with them. I had meetings with, the majority of the people that had questions and answered what I could with the information that I have and that is provided from, the end of the war to now.
Well, where do you stand on this personally? Because it seems like you're middle of the road on most things and kind of not really giving a clear answer on most things. But when people come to you and they're like, Barrick, I've got questions about the war. Why isn't our command or high command made a statement? What are you saying? Are you saying like, I don't know what's up with them, fuck them, or they're not doing shit, or I don't know? Or are you saying like, hey, listen, 2 people are in the ICU, we'll get one as soon as we can? What are you saying to these people? Because you're a part of command, you're not impartial in this.
The latter. The latter was my traditional answer of there's a couple of them in the ICU. They need some time to convene and talk about things before they properly release anything, and I felt that was the most objective answer to give to the people asking.
And you perceive a big morale issue because of that answer? They didn't like
I
that? They didn't think it was
perceive a
enough?
big morale issue just because everybody feels in the dark and probably still have questions that they feel will probably just never get answered. And
do you have an example of any of those questions?
I can't, because I personally don't really have any.
People came to you with those questions, though. Do you know what their questions were?
Well, I mean, people they don't come to me with the questions per se, and I'm not going to remember the questions from, insert conversation here 15 to 19 days ago that happened for 45 seconds, but it's...
You don't write the stuff down?
Not traditionally.
Okay.
If I feel that it's a big enough issue to do so, then I do, but at least for...
And the big morale issue that is plaguing the PBSO wasn't a big enough issue to write down?
I, as objectively as possible, came up with a potential solution for these people to get their answers and ask their questions without, having the fear of just getting shit on, air quotations, or anything along those lines. And that was what I pushed forward during the command meeting.
Was that
solution.
the one the command meeting on Thursday?
Yeah.
The
And
thing I put in high command chat about the anonymous
Yeah.
feedback, and then
as a way for people to be unfiltered and ask the questions that they really want to, as they're probably scared to do so for one reason or another. And just kind of be given answers and maybe get a little bit of clarity. Yeah, I know that's like not really what we were here to discuss, but I guess I don't see a whole lot of issues, if any, at least around this time. Besides,
that's a morale issue.
Yeah, besides morale, and I'd say that's just something I gather from being around during all 3 shifts. And in terms of just this time, it's really just my biggest thing is numbers on duty. We don't have the numbers to respond to stuff that makes other people not want to get on duty. If we don't have, you know, if there's less than 10 cops on duty, that a lot of people will maybe use that as their decision whether or not to come on duty. And if there's like less than 10, I'd argue a lot of people are like, well, there's not enough to really.
You're saying people don't come on duty because people aren't on duty?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of been my biggest focus since the restructure is like hiring and training people to improve those numbers.
Yeah, I mean, shift 3 has historically always been our least populated shifts. I mean, I think the city is also very, very, very underpopulated during this shift. I would even go as far to say that when you consider the amount of people around or awake at this hour, compared to cops, we're almost adequate, or at a higher rate. It's just the level of violence is higher too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we usually have around what do we average in shift 2? Like 20, 25 maybe some days.
I'd say 25 to
30 on a good day.
30 is like peakish.
Yeah.
Like once in a blue moon, you might get
so 20. I'd say 20 cops, 25 cops, maybe even 30, or 250, maybe 300 people. And then we have like probably like 10 cops usually at this hour, maybe like up to 15. 20 would be really high for about 100 or maybe 120, 130 people. It's about the same. Yeah. It's just they're more violent, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. You have any more questions, Stubble?
I mean, we did the strengths one. We should probably. What's your weaknesses? I feel like I already know.
I think there are drawbacks to the calculated side as well, just being quiet at times. And
yeah, I would try to keep that in perspective, that the server's not even
being upfront and honest
during these hours.
The initial,
you can put out cop numbers constantly, but if you consider the ratio is about 1 cop for 10 crims or 10 non-cops, we're about the same all throughout shifts.
Realistically, I do spend
usually
a lot
1 to
of time
10
on duty, but
that's about what we have.
I kind of
usually
put a majority of my effort into.
I think 1 to 8 would be better, personally. Maybe 1 to 6, but
probably sit back.
It's a pipe dream, really, to have that many quality cops around all the time.
Like the other time, so that's something I've been.
It's a question of quality over quantity.
About, and also, I think, and I'm not going to be, not even going to pretend to be to act like I'm like perfect on patrol or with paperwork or anything like that. So I definitely need to still improve there, but just comes with time and motivation, I guess.
All right. And where would you like to see the PBSO in 1 year? What does that department look like?
Just somebody I believe in at the top, and everybody flourishing in their positions and just happy more so than anything else, and enjoying their time on duty and just enjoying their time on duty and being around and being happy to be a part of the department. And
the 2 civs can sit on the sidelines and watch.
Kind of workout Wednesday environment that we have, and the camaraderie between everybody, just seeing that every day.
Okay.
In all aspects.
And then the last thing is, what are your top 3 picks for lieutenant? You can include yourself.
I like this question.
You don't have to do them in an order.
He's gonna say something like, "I just think there's so many good people, and it's really hard to
I'm
put
gonna
a."
say the first two for sure are Cannoli and Jenny. Third, if I had to choose, it's really hard to choose for the third, but probably say Bloom.
Bloom, Jenny,
Bloom or Pond.
Nolan.
Okay. That's all from me.
Yeah, that'll do it for me too.
All right.
All right. They might need some help on that situation. If you see Bloom, tell him to come to captain's office. I already sent him a text. But
he was a
currently on the
13A.
grass.
Yeah.
If he survives, then
Yeah.
we'll talk to him. If not,
Hey,
you might need to change it.
If he doesn't survive, we're gonna need a different pick.
Yeah.
Well, if he doesn't
we'll
survive,
take a fourth
then,
pick. We'll take a fourth pick.
He kind of said Ponds, I think, right?
He did.
Yeah, that's it. Like,
All right.
Pond and Anita are the next two after that.
I didn't say 5. I said.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say PA. It's a split there.
Okay. Good to know.
All right. Well, either way, I appreciate the time, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll see him.
Yep. No. That was strange.
I don't know Barrett that well. And I'm trying to be polite, but that was one of the worst interviews I've ever conducted. I don't know why he signed up, if that's how he felt. I guess he just thought, like, maybe he should as a sergeant, or it shows he doesn't. I guess it's like, it's more of like a sign up in case nobody else applied type of thing. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I told you, like, weeks and weeks and weeks ago when we first started talking about Lieutenant, that Barrick wasn't interested.
Yeah,
And,
true. But
originally he wasn't, and I think I asked him yesterday if he'd actually like signed up. He was like, "Yeah, I actually did," and I was like, "Oh, maybe something changed," but his mind hasn't changed. He still very much has other people that he prefer in that position. But yeah, he still did put his name down. I guess it's kind of like a.
I guess it's like if nobody else applied, is I guess like if
would rather see other people.
Yeah, if and I guess to try to read his mind a little, if Cannoli, Jenny, Bloom, Pond, and Anita, and whoever else he listed,
then him.
If they didn't apply, then I guess he would be more assertive about it. But I don't think he even. Yeah, I think he's just kind of going through the motions on that one. I'm also concerned with the morale thing. I feel like there's a bit of double talk going on. I'm concerned, not just specifically about him, but that a lot of sergeants might be doing the kind of like, people come to them with questions specifically about the war, and they're like, yeah, I don't know what High Command's doing. I don't know what they're thinking.
High Command out communicating.
Yeah, my worry is that they're kind of, I don't want to say something as crazy and as inflammatory as like, like they're fanning the flames, but that kind of talk is really not good from a sergeant. We need them to have our backs and like try to like, I mean, the term I'll use is we really need the benefit of the doubt in these types of things, especially when we've gone through and gotten rid of so many people that were major issues. I mean, people didn't like Brian, right? And he's gone. And people had a problem with Walter Christmas, and he's gone. And people had a problem with Axel, and we didn't do that, but he's gone. And I think people had problems with Toretti, but people like Toretti, but whatever. It's not our decision. He's gone. And so it's kind of like, why can't people give us the benefit of the doubt a little bit that we're moving towards a resolution and trying to get answers? But it just seems like, this is what I really want to say, the quiet part out loud, is that I think people just like complaining, and they'll complain about anything. And this just seems to be the big thing to complain about right now.
I think a big thing is people just want us to, and there's pros and cons to it. People want us to communicate everything. Like, I think some people expected us to formally do an announcement that Brian was removed and formally do an announcement that Christmas was fired.
Yeah,
And,
just
and like, sure, it might make sense at some points, but also we don't publicize.
I'm not trying to slam these people,
punishments, right? And
yeah,
like,
we don't do
it's
that.
not a public thing.
Yeah, and we also didn't do it because they wanted it, if that makes sense, right? This wasn't
We
like
did
a
it
this wasn't
yeah.
caving to the public pressure, especially with the Brian thing, because he walked away, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe we would have fired him, maybe we wouldn't have, but in the end, like, it feels wrong to be like, good news, everybody, Brian's fired. Good news, everybody, Axel's fired. Good news, because that's not what happens.
Axel died. Brian
the truth is
walked
that
away.
yeah,
we didn't get to fire him.
We didn't get the chance if we wanted to. And with Walter, I guess we could have done that, but like we said, we've never done like, hey everybody, guess what? We got rid of, because you know people can come back, and that's incredibly damaging for their reputation.
Yeah.
To be like they're fucking fired and they're gone, and well, I don't think we've talked about Walter publicly at all. I would think. I mean, maybe people know, maybe they don't.
I've had a few
but
people
it's-
I'm just like, yeah, he's no longer employed, or we fired him.
Yeah, 90% of people will find out through the person who got fired, bad mouthing us. But that's fine because we're the bigger person, and we're supposed to be the respectable professional department, and we don't go around bad mouthing our ex-employees in case they want to come back. If they go bad mouth us, that's fine. They're just a private person at that point. I mean, just to say it again for the sake of my own sanity, I think there's a lot of people that just like to complain. They like to have something to complain about or something to blame, other than just like maybe, hey, it's a tough time to be a cop for reasons beyond our control. You know, it's a tough time to be a cop in shift 3 because people like to shoot cops right now, and it's hard to get past that.
Yeah.
But with the war stuff, I mean, I guess we could put out a PD press release specifically, but I would have hoped people would at least appreciate that we're trying to appoint a public information officer, which would communicate with them as well.
That's
you
also
know?
what I said at the command
Like,
meeting was like,
yeah,
they
like
were asking for a lot of things that is the responsibility of the public information officer. Like
Yeah.
Bison was like, let me write up an announcement right now and I'll send it to LSPN. I'm like, why would I tell you to do that when you're one of the people that is interested in this position and this is giving you that power and responsibility and taking away from the people that are also interested?
And Bison's definitely not getting that job. I mean, I'm not voting for him anyways. Maybe Reed or someone else will be dead set on it, but Bison's the last person I want in that position because he shows no faith in his command or high commands. He is incredibly, he just shows no faith in us, and I can't have that person as a public information communicator. If they are going to shit talk us or doubt us, there's no chance. I mean, there's just no chance. There's zero chance in my mind I'm going to allow someone who's so publicly and forthright about how they don't trust us and don't have faith in us and assume the worst.
Yeah, don't like that.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, the PIO stuff. Are you wanting to do the shift 2 interviews? Because it'll probably be me and Tessa, unless you want to.
Yeah,
If
you and Tessa do it, and then if I'm awake, then I'll be there, but don't schedule around me.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Just probably like drop things like, hey, we're gonna do it, and then if I'm awake, I might be able to just like show up for it.
Yeah, we might end up doing a little bit more selective interviews because I think the application, the range on applicants is a little bit wider. Like we might start with like people we want to not weed out, but people we're more unsure about, so we can kind of run through quick interviews first. And people we consider serious candidates might be like last, so it's like more of a we set aside more time for them. Anyway, I think we could probably rule out Barrick unless everyone else turns it down for whatever reason. So even he himself was just like, I'd be happy to do it, but not unless these other people got it. So I think that's not even against his wishes. You said you contacted Bloom from down here?
Yeah, he's on the way.
Oh, okay. That'll be at least a more interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bloom is the one who's not at the meeting.
Off duty, so.
Pond we can do later because she'll be at the
Yeah.
meeting in 12. Mostly Bloom's a good one because we don't see him at shift 2 meetings. It's a good call.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything from McQuillan, which means he might be sleeping in, which means we might see him at the shift 4 meeting as well. So.
Well, you're gonna hold it against him that he said he was gonna be here and he didn't show?
Yeah. I'm gonna be more unreasonable with him.
Looking at the PIO forms. Inhale. Bison, Barrick, Peach, Ramona, Scully, Gregory, Juno, Lucy, Lexington, Nancy, Tails, Jimbo, Philomena, Arthur McNee. He's a cop? Is Arthur McNee a cop? I thought he was a judge or a lawyer.
He was a judge, and then he joined the PD, and then he has been on an indefinite LOA since the restructure because he was appointed sheriff in the other county 1 week into our restructure.
Oh, he applied for the
So-
PIO thing.
Oh, he's on an LOA.
Yeah, well, interesting.
Yeah. Maybe he's finally going to become active again. But
Well, I'm probably not
as
gonna
shift one person. I haven't seen him in 4 months.
probably not gonna interview people. I'm probably not gonna contact people for interviews. I'm probably just gonna pull them aside as I see them, because at least that verifies that they wake up every now and then.
Yeah.
Here he is with his MP7.
Yeah.
I was summoned.
Yeah.
Right. Sit next to Stubble.
Yeah, sit down.
All right. Gonna be sitting like me. Okay. All right.
No, I wouldn't. Like the corner is comfy. You might be wondering why we brought you here.
Too bad. Sorry, Raven.
Listen, man, it
Could've
was an
been
unauthorized
great.
parking ticket.
What the hell
and the
happened?
guy that
Bloom?
shot me wasn't even the guy getting the ticket.
He just shot you.
I told
Or
him
did
to
he hit you with
get
a hey bloom?
No, he said that I'm gonna learn my lesson one way or another.
Well, did you?
I might once I figure out what it is.
Well, hey,
I'm not a
tell us,
rocket
let us
scientist, but I'm thinking it was probably don't give people parking tickets.
The guy already had his parking ticket. And then the guy that shot me was like, I know the owner of Hayes. I don't know how that came into play at all. But he said he worked there too, so I'm gonna be scouring the staff.
Gonna have to
list
look
of
into that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
But Hayes also probably employs 300 people.
And I guess the criminal records on there go crazy.
Oh boy, do they. Oh yeah, I'm already looking. I don't care that much. 131 people, and also they don't have photos, so I gotta copy their name, put them in the profile section. Fuck that.
Ooh, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, man, I don't care. Well,
Yeah,
they'll
the
just
first 10 names are all Seaside as well.
go get arrested on a boost or something in a couple hours, and then you'll get charged for the hot gun because then he'll learn his lesson.
Well, reason you're here and the reason we're here is we took a look at the interest form for lieutenant, and your name was up there. There was a result. It said Louis Bloom.
That does sound plausible.
Yeah. So this is it. This is the interview for the lieutenant position at PBSO.
I accept.
Well, you accept the interview. Well, that's
Yeah.
good because that's why we're here.
I accept that it's happening.
That's good.
Good.
That's
He accepts the interview.
The first question, name. I already got the answer to that, but just in case you have like a secret first name, you know, it is.
No, it's just Louis Bloom.
Is this short
Middle
for
name.
anything? Like Louisville?
No.
Louisville?
No,
Lewinton?
not Louisville.
Louisville?
No, it's just Louis. Probably
Lewiston.
probably short for something like if you ask me in the 1800s, but like nowadays, it's just Louis. I even
Lewinton.
pronounce it incorrectly because, like Stubble said, it should be pronounced Louis, but Louis.
I mean, yeah, Lewis would be
I've heard it's already said Louis, and I just thought it was wrong.
Lewis, right?
Yeah, it's wrong. It's Louis.
It's like Louisiana. Louis. It's spelled Louis, but I pronounce it Louis. I don't care what people call
Lewis
me.
would probably be
Louisiana, huh?
WIS though. So.
Yeah, that is the more traditional way of spelling it. I concur.
Like Collins.
Yeah,
One of
just like
us, and now
Collins.
dirty street racing.
He's a racist. He's a
Yeah.
fucking racist. I hate racists.
They're the worst.
Oh, you want to
Yeah,
get
that's my
started with
name.
questions, or you want me to?
I was gonna let you do like the standard atypical ones because
standard ones?
I kind of ran the other one off the rails too
Alright.
quickly.
Yeah, that did happen.
Well,
Alright,
I'm for the best, I guess, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So the way we got the structured Bloom is we have a couple of questions that every single applicant will go through. So we'll have a consistent answer thing to compare, and then we'll also have like a free form. We're just gonna shoot the shit. You can ask us stuff. We can ask you things, and it'll be towards like the second half of the interview. For the first one, like I said, there's traditional questions. They're pretty basic, so we'll start with your weaknesses, Bloom. And that could be as a person, as a leader, as an officer. Doesn't really matter. It's kind of open for your interpretation. What are the weaknesses of Louis
I
Bloom?
just keep fucking digging.
How
Yeah,
so?
he does do that.
Once I this shit, man. Seaside.
It's a very
I'm gonna keep going back
forthright
there.
answer. He does keep digging.
I'm gonna keep impounding cars, and I'm gonna lock them all up on terrorism or something. Because god damn it, what sense does it make to fucking shoot someone over a parking ticket? The Italians. I'm gonna keep doing that shit. There's nothing. Y'all can't stop me. Y'all are gonna have to fire me to stop me, and that's probably an issue. That's probably I'd say that's probably a weakness. I can't fucking I'll tell you when I let go. Whenever something weird happens, and then I just don't care. That's when I don't care.
When you see a state ID over a certain number.
Yeah, as soon as that happens, just out the window. Don't give a fuck anymore. So that's probably
Level's
a weakness.
making Tourette noises. Give me
Posting docket
flashbacks.
cases in the middle, not in the middle, but posting docket cases before the 30-day mark. God, drug trafficing's so boring.
Hey, at least you post the docket casings, right?
Well, yeah.
I remember the whole MC, the SCU, that whole thing.
That's. I mean, I'm sure
I
I'm sure I
remember
know
that.
what you're talking about, but it's not
You got
jogging
booted from
anything.
SCU. When you're sick or something.
Oh, that wasn't what. No, what happened?
I swear I heard you were
You want to
sick.
fucking know what happened there? The TLDR is I arrested some serial killer twins. I got an email from a DOC saying that they died. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to post anything anymore. Like, whatever. And then they habeas corpus me, and the sisters were miraculously alive.
Ooh, they got you with
And
the fake
then-
death.
Yeah, the fake death.
Ah.
The fake death got me, and then it got
and then they're free to go because you didn't file.
Yeah, and then they got habeas corpus, and
You gotta double tap the bodies,
I
Bloom.
got fired from SCU, and
Did they have,
honestly,
like death certificates.
Gotta
or
double tap
anything,
'em.
like-
you think DOC do their work? Here's the thing. I set up a secondary interview with them. I was like, all right, let's just say I think it was for like a Monday or something. Like, all right, Monday, we're gonna set up a secondary interview. Boom, got it. Like Saturday or Sunday, I get an email saying, all right, just so you know, your 95s are dead. I was like, oh, all right, well, that's kind of cool actually. I don't have to fucking do paperwork now. Forget about it for like 2 weeks, and then I'm getting called into the captain's office. So, oh wait, no. Then I see a docket post on the original docket post saying Sergeant Bloom hasn't pushed any charges, fucking habeas corpus, and then I was like, wait, what? I thought the lawyer was just stupid, and then I got fired from SCU. First best thing that happened to me. Second best thing, blacklisted from SWAT.
Funny that your wife really isn't entering the equation on best things that happened to you.
Yeah.
All right, well, sticking to it.
All right, strength.
Is she at least number 3?
Oh, actually, yeah. Like third best thing
Well,
that
in
ever
my
happened to
personal
you.
life, yeah, I'd say she's up there, number 1, but like
Top 5 maybe?
definitely top 5.
right.
Definitely top 5.
Maybe number 1.
But professionally, I'd say yeah,
Fired
Lily's
from
definitely made me a
SCU,
better
blacklisted
cop.
from SWAT.
Complimenting
Married
Lily's
to
ass
wife.
in a meeting, and maybe subjected to an IA complaint, but it never happened. Yeah, I'd say in that order.
I'd say meeting Wrangler should be in there somewhere. Kinda launched your career
Wrangler
a little
fired
bit.
me. I
Yeah.
clear Wrangler now.
But he kind of launched
The
your
kid's
career a
name.
little bit, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, no one really gave a
I
shit
mean,
about you until he did.
You're not wrong. Yeah, he's number.
I guess you
4.
could say he kind of made you.
Oh yeah, he. I mean, people compare me to him daily, so.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah, people go, you just want to be like Wrangler, Bloom. And I'm like, I'm just writing you a parking ticket.
They say that the parking tickets.
You'd be like a much
They say that
lazier
for
Wrangler.
anything.
There's no way Wrangler would have looked at the 130 people on the Hayes employee list and said, "This is too much work."
Well, guess what? I already know that the profile picture is not going to be a good one of the Seaside gang member that was wearing a mask.
Probably
going
going
to
to be some picture of like a
Binti
SpongeBob
Rama-
character or
Yeah,
something because they're from
exactly.
Seaside.
Exactly.
Well,
here's the thing. I just caught up to Wrangler's jadedness way faster than he did.
That's true. You did really surpass them on their jadedness, Peter.
Mm-hmm. Easily, I'd say. US strengths. I know what the difference between RS and PC is. Which,
In one word, what would you say it is?
Evidence.
Ooh, that's big. That's big.
I think that most police don't know that.
Yeah.
I actually learn charges every day and interpret them in new ways almost every time I can, while other people only know gang-related shooting. Actually, that's a stretch. They don't know that. They know.
It just changed.
Yeah, they know. Well, that even back then they didn't know. They know robbery of financial and grand theft auto, and even that is a stretch for most officers. So I'd say
All they
the
know is
ability to
eat hot
read
chip
and interpret law.
and lie.
Yep.
Biggest strength, no
I talk
charges.
to people.
Is that it?
Well, no, I was gonna keep going if you wanted.
Oh, we were asking for one, but I guess
Just one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If I have to sum it all up, personal life included or just job here?
Let's go just job here.
All right,
Yeah.
just job, that narrows it down. All right. I don't know. Talking to people when I have an issue with them. Pretty fucking rare commodity in this PD.
That's good. Gonna write that down. All right. Next question for this one's for PBSO. Biggest issues inside of PBSO, and what, as the lieutenant, you would do to fix them.
Chain of command following is a recurring issue. I don't feel like that's PBSO specific, but it is. I mean, it falls into your question. I feel like I'm fixing that every day. I mean, I literally just told Lily to deal with something. She was asking my opinion on it, and I said, my opinion doesn't matter. You're a corporal. Go deal with it. And, I feel like empowering those under me is always kind of an important step that a lot of people skip. Another problem in the PBSO, morale's a huge issue now. I don't know the solution to that. I'm not even gonna fucking pretend.
The morale issue.
We all know the solution. We've talked about it behind closed doors, but we'll see. And let's see what else is a PBSO specific problem. During my shift, I'd say. I'll be honest. Is it sad that I think the biggest problem right now is chain of command and morale? Let's see. It's like the thing that jumps out at me the most. I feel like our policing style lines up pretty well across the board. No one's really at each other's throats.
Morale.
I'd say that we got
Guys,
it
we
pretty
got some
fucking down
morale.
on lock on two as far as everyone understands each other. I'm comfortable saying that. I think our biggest weakness right now is chain of command. Which, if that's our biggest issue, I don't think there's a lot of worse shit that it could be.
What do you see the issue with chain of commands, and how would you solve that as a lieutenant?
Well, funnily enough, I think it starts at sergeant, which is why I've been trying to take care of it as much as I have. Going back to actually, let me go into more details because I did just say this to
No, don't worry, Raven. Don't worry, man.
At the command meeting the other day. Part of the issue
I'm
is
on top of it, brother.
the chain of command in PBSO's eyes is this right now. It's not on paper. It's this to them right now. It is. It goes deputy, corporal, Lily Pond, me, in that order. I don't know why people are treating Lily so differently. I think people have a lot of respect for her or whatever. But people like Lily, mainly Lily, if I'm being honest with you, are getting skipped in chain of command when they should be the first one to go to. A lot of people treat her like a sergeant, which I'll be honest, she acts like one, so I can't blame them for having that in their head. However, a lot of people view it that way. Another issue with chain of command is a lot of people struggle with thinking what is a sergeant issue and what is a corporal issue. And instead, they try to decipher that themselves instead of going to a corporal and a corporal
True.
saying, this is a sergeant issue.
She's blowing smoke up right
It
up my
certainly
ass, and it feels
happens,
nice.
But usually people are trying to figure that out on their own. Whenever a deputy should not be trying to figure that out, they should be going to a corporal, and a corporal should be saying, this is above me, go to Bloom.
Oh, fuck.
That's the biggest issue right now.
And how do you solve that as
and,
lieutenant?
As a lieutenant, there needs to be, I'll be honest, I haven't really thought about it going upwards. I've been trying to take care of it on a sergeant level, but there needs to be more empowerment of a corporal. As much as it sucks, we do need to fucking swat the hands and wrists of the people that are overreaching and deciding for their own that it is a sergeant issue. I think that right now might be one of the worst times for punishments. I don't think you need hard punishments. I think they need to be like, all right, you want to skip chain of command? How about you go fucking take incident reports at the front lobby and advertise on Twitter that you're doing that or something?
This
You know,
smoke
fucking
feels so nice in my
make
ass.
people learn through
Good
giving
Lord.
them punishments that don't make them not want to come on duty. Is a big one. That is something you can do as sergeant, but that's definitely something you can hammer into corporals and sergeants and make sure they do that when you're not around. So I'd start there. I feel like a lot of people are quick to jump to strike points, which
It's like a
excuse
bidet.
my French, but I'm pretty sure we all agree here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but strike points don't mean jack shit. It's just a formality and documenting punishment. People learn through actually being subjected to some form of punishment, and more that isn't strike points, and more specifically, one that doesn't actually make them hate their life. So empowering sergeants and corporals, giving them ideas to do shit like that instead of just take the easy cop-out answer of strike points, is where I would start as a lieutenant. Because if you ask anyone right now, I'm 99% sure most people would just be like, oh, someone did X wrong, give them strike points. And that's just from my experiences talking to people as a sergeant. Anytime a corporal comes to me to recommend a punishment, it's always strike points. It's never anything else.
What's the problem with strike points? I think people just get too in their head about it. I mean, they're definitively a warning, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a warning. However, you and I ran into this issue. I wouldn't say issue. You had a concern with strike points I gave out to Harvey at one point. When he ended up at Rimming, sorry.
Can you hang up?
He ended up at 28.5 strike points. You said,
you.
did you hold
Warm and
back
love you.
just
Can you hang up?
because it would have gone to 30? I mean, it just so happened that it fucking didn't reach 30. And then I ended up fucking suspending him anyway. But
I was going to see if you're being a pussy and giving them 0.5 or whatever to
I
prevent
don't
a
look at that.
suspension.
I actually just had this conversation with Lily earlier when we strike Scully for 15. Well, she recommended me. She said, how many does she have? And I said, don't look at that. And if you do, don't let it sway how much you're going to give her. Because
I agree.
I
Oh,
mean, what
smoke's hitting the
fuck's
spot.
point if we just continuously
This
skate
is
that
nice.
line and be like, next time it's going to be a
This
suspension.
is nice.
Ooh, next time.
Yippee! Smoking my ass.
I think given my heavy-handed punishment recently with Juno, it should be shown I don't really give a fuck about strike points. The entire point of the restructure was to have better cops, a better work environment, people that know how to do their job, people that respect command, and I feel like I am fulfilling that role currently, and I feel like I will continue doing that. So, as far as why strike points don't come into play, I feel like strike points are more applicable to a situation I had with like Scully earlier, not really I don't know, recurring long-term issues. If someone has a recurring issue, a warning isn't going
It's
to deal,
emotional
deal
support
a blow to
MV7.
them that makes them fucking get their head
It's
out
a
of their
7,
ass.
Vanessica.
My problem with strike points is just that. It's only a warning. It's fine sometimes, but let's be honest, most people's problem in the PD has been a problem for a while.
Not a gun
And when it
nerd.
hasn't, strike points are appropriate.
Right.
How do you think people would receive you if you were lieutenant? Good? Like they'd be thrilled or upset?
In the PBSO, I think, trying to think before I say what I want to say, I'm pretty sure it would be overwhelmingly positive. Part of the reason being the aforementioned how people already view the chain. People already treat Lily like a sergeant or higher, and people already treat me higher. Also, from word of mouth, whenever I was running for commissioner, the amount of support I got from the PBSO was pretty nice. Whenever the lieutenant sheet came out, people immediately came up to me and said, "Hey," even other departments, but mainly PBSO, was like, "Hey, you're doing this right." So I feel that it would be overwhelmingly positive from the majority.
I can't tell
I'm
if
sure
half
there's
of
some
you
people that are gonna see
are
something, but what can you do?
Like Bloom
trying to
viewers
think,
that want to
and
shit
I
on him in
can't
my chat,
actually think
or
of
actual
anyone
Bloom
that is
haters.
on my shift.
Because I know you.
I'm sure there's others on other.
There's a lot of
shifts
people
that
like to
are
shit on
going
Bloom
to be
that are like
upset if I do get
fans
pushed
of
to
his.
lieutenant.
You know.
I'll circle back to that if I think of one, but yeah.
Let's go circle back to that morale issue you talked about. Where do you see the morale issue stemming from?
So it feels like we're here to constantly put a band-aid on crime and
There you go,
not
Kenny.
actually thwart it and cut it down at the root. Specific departments that are made to do so, calling out MCU here, are constantly laughing stocks and jokes with horrible mentalities within them, and all we can do from the outside is watch it.
Hawker's got the
crumble.
copy.
And when we think there's some change, there's not actually change. I think that the PBSO are police officers. Okay, I guess I'll explain it this way. The way I view it is LSPD cops are police officers that just want to get on duty and do the mundane.
Here
cop
comes the
stuff,
smoke
which is
right up my
A-okay.
ass.
We need those kinds of cops. Of course, there's a few that break the mold. PBSO.
This is
to
exactly
me,
how I
are
view
people
LSPD.
that want to challenge themselves and continue progressing, and getting better. Spirits is a fucking prime example of that. Just an A1 deputy. He's constantly bettering himself. I could go on. There's a lot of people similar to him, but he's one that stands out. And then there's the SDSO, who
You go ahead.
I would say
Go
to
ahead,
even
Bloom.
more of a degree.
Go ahead, Bloom.
need to
say we're Joe
have a
Cops.
change of pace.
Say we're Joe Cops.
Almost a chaotic one. So with PBSO constantly needing to move at a relatively fast pace,
Just say it!
Make changes, see changes visually. They need to be tangible and visible. That's the thing with PBSO, I think. And for a while, it has been visually getting worse. People are seeing things not change. People are seeing things even getting worse.
All
For
just
example,
to say that.
yes, it is.
That's
our job.
wild because you didn't even
I'm
follow.
not complaining about this. No one should be
Crazen.
really complaining about this, but people are.
I'm looking at my
Is,
my
with
list.
The prison shit.
Maybe I'm wrong.
We
but
are
hold on.
constantly going up there 78s. Our job. Not gonna say it's not.
Wanna check?
But,
Hold on,
constantly
checking.
nonstop for that like 1.5 week, 2 week period. It was just.
I don't even see a
non-fucking
follow from
stop.
you, buddy.
And it was really draining for people that
I want my
would
fucking
like
follow.
to respond to B&Es or 37s or you name it, or work a case somewhere else.
Make a
because
new
everyone
account
has
and
that
follow.
moral obligation,
And then I'll read your
their,
chat message again.
Job obligation to respond to 78s as
Lag.
they should.
Yeah, maybe it's lag. Could be.
So
Could be
constantly
lag.
being forced to respond to the same call repeatedly without anything changing. We're not charging them with anything else. We're not nothing is changing from it.
Oh,
All
2
we are
minutes
doing
ago.
is
There you
going
go.
up there to get shot. Really weighed down on the PBSO, I feel, more than
Goddamn.
other departments. I would bring SDSO
Awesome,
up,
bro.
but during my shift, there's a distinct.
I don't even know what he's
lack
been
of
saying. I
PBSO,
tuned him out.
so,
Bozos on
but I
three.
do feel like they would be affected just as much. Hell, maybe there would be more SDSO
Ooh,
around
thanks for the
if
5
that
gifted.
wasn't happening. But that's just a theory.
Thank you, sir.
So that was the main hitter as of recent. It's no secret that Justice and Bass leaked some stuff before they went out, and
Good
that
Lord.
stuff hasn't happened. But that's a whole fucking other issue. So I think we're being promised change.
Boosh just likes to yap.
We're seeing that there's no change, and there's definitely nothing tangible. So all that.
I think
combined
Bloom
for the
reminds me a lot
past,
of the way I
I'd say 2
talk in
months
RP, though.
has really been a kick to the nuts
On Svensen.
for the PBSO. But you do have some officers. I'm gonna put myself up on a little pedestal here. They just ignore it and go do something else. I mean, I'll be honest. Fuck me. There's so much shit to do. Just go target another gang.
This is so radically
Something,
different
man. Go do Southside
from
Patrol.
Barrack's interview,
Go fucking patrol up in
where
Toledo,
Barrack was
where
like,
there's
I don't
crime
really
happening
want
and
it.
No one does anything about it.
And
It's also on
everyone's
us.
good. I like him. Bye. And Bloom is just like, yeah.
So I would say that is a that's probably the most recent morale hit. There is a current workaround, but people tend to follow a leader, and no leader is currently going up to Toledo and busting crime up there. I'll be honest, during my shift, there's not much. During this shift, there is. But, doing something different and people seeing it.
Yeah, he's
and then
still
also,
talking
you
about
need to
morale.
have people break their
Raven.
mold, which is
At this
very
point, I just want to see how long he'll go.
How can I not respond to an A+?
At this point, I just want to see how long he'll go.
You know? You got to get people out of that mentality, and then they'll actually start enjoying their time on duty, I feel.
Okay, it seems like he's wrapping up.
Long-winded answer. I apologize. You should add my strengths to filibustering.
Okay.
In parentheses. That might be my real strength.
All right, I'm petting Bozo.
I'm a talker.
A little bit, just a little bit. He's getting annoyed at me. That was a lot. What was that like? Anyone got a stopwatch? Was that 5 minutes?
That's nothing, Svensen.
You think that's a good trait?
That I'm good with, or I mean, I would consider myself above average with words.
Wouldn't
that
someone
I
who's
can-
above average be concise?
No. You kidding me? What if the president got up on a podium and said, "This is what happened by"? People would fucking hate him. There's a reason dictators talk how
goes
they
again.
do.
You going for the dictator comparison?
Why not?
Which dictator do you think yourself most like?
I think in my vows, I compared myself to Kim Jong.
Which one? Okay.
I think in my vows to Lily at our wedding, I compared myself to Kim Jong.
I see you more of as a Gaddafi, personally.
Think so?
Hmm. I just feel like he talks so much. There's just not really a clear answer there anywhere. Because I asked what the
What do you
morale
mean?
issue you perceive is, and you went on the list pretty much. I mean, you listed things for all the way from like not patrolling Toledo to the war to
That was a
getting
solution,
shot
sir.
too much. The solution is patrolling Toledo.
That's a potential change in police work and pace. Stuff like patrolling the south side, patrolling Toledo, doing things that people don't typically do was a proposed solution.
And you were
Because I
proposing
said,
leadership to that, right?
yeah, lead by example and go up there. I personally go to the south side because during my shift, like I said, there's not much happening in Toledo, unfortunately.
What is the main morale issue? I'm hoping you be a little more concise. Do you view it being? Well, you mentioned a few things, but do you view it being issues
dumb it
stemming
down.
from like
Not dumb it down.
Bass and may he rest in peace, Axel, the hero of justice, and the rest of the commissioner's
hero.
office not giving enough information? Do you view it being stuff from the war fallout? Do you view it being daily
To
cops aren't allowed to do
consolidate it?
their jobs, or do you view it being we get shot too much and not enough patrolling?
To consolidate it, I would say that the most recent hit was the war. The byproduct being everyone having a very strict routine of calls they respond to. and that
People are
drives
stuck
down
in
the
their
road.
rut.
Yeah, 110%. And there's
And how would
cops
you
that do that.
How would you rectify that as a lieutenant? What are you doing to stop that you can't do as a sergeant?
Well, that's what I was saying. I already am trying to break that mold for people, which I don't think you need to be a sergeant to do or a corporal. I think you can just do as a deputy. However, what I'm doing is I'm educating people of the Vagina Act, which apparently no one fucking knew. I didn't know until Crane told me. As we're
I knew of
patrolling
it, it's just
Vinewood more. Yeah, I mean, however you feel about it, fuck
Very
it. But,
vague.
yeah, those are the best kinds of legislation. Educating people on legislation they didn't know, hitting places harder where crime shouldn't be happening. Vinewood, busting up Vagos down on their turf like we did today. Just shit that we don't normally do and people have tried to shun us away from in the past. I can't tell you how many times I was told to never patrol the south side because they'll unite and shoot us all. No, they fucking won't. You need to do a lot to fucking make that happen. And guess what patrolling will do? Not that. So I think leading by just saying, like on radio, this is what I'm doing. Be prepared for 77 requests. People will see that, go down in the area, and start doing shit too. And to be honest, like I said,
I'm not showing you Raven, you son of a bitch.
People need to not be afraid to try new things.
Okay. What's your first act as lieutenant? Not like, drink coffee, but like your first move as lieutenant that you couldn't do as sergeant. What do you do?
Probably a bunch of shift 3 bits in relation to lieutenant.
No, come on. I'm being serious. Like, what's your first move as lieutenant to exercise your authority or make a change you couldn't do as a sergeant?
So in this scenario, we do have a sergeant taking my place. Yes. Let's just say I have a command structure under me.
Yeah.
Stable.
Yeah. Not right away, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think that coordinating some kind of incentive. I'm not going to bullshit you and say that I've thought about this. This is something I'm thinking of on the spot. But some kind of incentives more tied to maybe in the budget and shit. All the time during shift 3, I'm telling people, you get X amount of traffic tickets or whatever. I'll pay you $200K out of my pocket or whatever. Shit like that I can actually get cleared through the budget. That's stuff I can do now too. But I feel like having more people empowered to do that, like a sergeant, a different sergeant, would help. I think that in general, I think just moving people around, I don't know. I would personally push for less corporals, but that's a battle I've been fighting since I was a senior deputy, and I was fighting for less senior deputies.
You want less corporals?
Yeah, it's really just starting to not mean shit again. I think we should bring back senior and just have it mean what it is, seniority, because that's how people viewed it, and demote corporals. Whenever we announced,
about the tenured rank plan still, right?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna just outright say it in case it wasn't public to Stubble here, But
Stubble didn't know the.
Who knows?
I'm the one that
just in
he
case.
Was he was the second person I told.
Listen,
I think.
man,
Him and I.
The streets talk. I wasn't
like
sure if you
6
wanted me
hours
to
with
fucking
Barrett
say
trying
it.
to plan that thing.
Okay, I had.
We're waiting until
say
like
one name.
the death of commissioners and hanging over our head and stuff.
Yeah.
For the
So yeah, I think that need. I'll be honest. I think the push to corporal should have happened simultaneously, and not every senior should have made corporal. That's not a secret. I am pretty sure you and I haven't had this conversation.
Oh, you sergeant. Which corporal shouldn't make it right now? PBSO. We're just, what? Fuck it. UPD one.
Let me pull up the roster. Go to shift 2 corporals. Let's see here. Alrighty. Davids probably shouldn't be a corporal. He's probably
talking about Rangers.
Brian Davids. This is LSPD.
Okay.
I'm not familiar of a range. I'm not even going to talk about their structure. I don't fucking know it. Ruby York strikes me from dealing with her, also someone that would benefit from only being a senior at the moment. Aspen's a good corporal. Harvey should be senior, if that. Kovacic, the entire point of this restructure was to empower sub-departments and shit. He should be a senior and just do his MCU shit. Anita has a very heavy hand in P&T, kind of similar to Luca. I've always said that she should not be a senior when she was a senior, when it was
corporal plays senior.
supposed to be corporal rank. Several conversations happened about that. I'm kind of on the fence about that one at this point because apparently there's a lot more shit she does that I don't know. Everything I see is that she just sits in MRPD where she's riding with someone and not really doing corporal stuff. Cannoli. That's a tough one. Cannoli now senior. Cannoli a few months ago corporal. Kurt Doug.
But Cannoli isn't corporal.
He is on paper, sir.
Oh, is he?
He was a senior before the corporal push, so he's a corporal. Exactly. I think we should push it.
Well, I mean that's it's all below my pay grade. Let Stubble deal with that.
Let Lieutenant deal with that.
Kurt Doug should have been a senior. To say that someone, and this is not a dig at Kurt, to say that a brand new senior such as Kurt should be on the same level as the other people that are corporals, like Aspen or.
That's my problem as well. Is you have like Muller is the same level as like Jimbo.
Exactly. I was about to get.
What
to
are you
Jimbo.
gonna do? Make a fucking lance corporal or make a tech
you only
sergeant?
have so many ranks. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, inevitably there's gonna be people of different experience levels on the same rung
100%.
of the ladder.
But my problem.
I mean,
is
think
we
about
were
Stubble and
pitched-
me. I've got what 7 years tenure, and he's got what 2.
He's got so much.
You know,
yeah, for
it's
sure. Yeah.
some people would say that same thing, but I mean, it's about does he meet the qualifications, and I think he does.
Yeah, which is exactly why I think the rank of senior deputy should just be brought back and be people that you can look to for guidance and experience and shit. Because right now, corporal's a mix of that and also people we should trust, So it's like it's this
What do you
weird
say, Stubble? A
balance.
lot of these people are people you okayed. This is your sergeant. Where you at on this?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Stubble, but you knew I felt
inconsistencies
this
across
way.
the board. Yeah, I know that you feel this way. My problem is not the stand of corporal. It's just like we got rid of bloat from the restructure. I just think we got rid of too much, and that across the board we're consistently dealt with. There aren't people in the correct positions around. Like the other day, for example, there was 5 hours straight where I was the only member of command, not high command, command, and there was consistent times where there's not enough corporals.
Funny that
And that's the
Bloom
sad
is
reality.
saying
I agree
he thinks
that
there
in a perfect
are
universe,
too many
we have 300
corporals,
cops,
and Stubble's gonna
the
hit him with,
leader of
I
the
think there aren't
HQ
enough
is not a member of
sergeants
command or high
and
command.
not enough
The leader
corporals.
of PBSO PNT is just a deputy, right? And that position is that sub role. But the sad reality is we don't have enough people for those joint positions. There's the same reason why Pond pretty much runs HSPU, but she's also a corporal.
What's a sub department thing, like Bloom
it's like-
mentioned, right?
Yeah, well, that's what my counter thing to Bloom is. He was saying, they should be seniors or not even seniors because they should be in that sub department, like Kovacic. But if you demote Kovacic and Harvey from corporal, and you only have Aspen as a corporal, Aspen is part time. She does like what? Let's say 3 or 4 hours a day. So that results in the SDSO shift 2 not having a corporal for half their shift most days of the week. And that's implying that Aspen does 7 days a week, which I think is an unrealistic expectation for anybody. So it's like, on paper, I completely agree with you that we shouldn't have this many corporals and we shouldn't have this many sergeants, and that there should only be like X amount of lieutenants.
This
or
is
high
where
command.
Stubble and I disagree.
But for this department to function, you need to have more people in those positions.
I wish someone could
across the
talk him
board.
out of it.
We only have 3 shifts that are 8 hours long, but realistically, most people only do 3 to 6 hours, if that. And that's not 7 days a week. So to have people in these positions, you need to have, unfortunately, like 4 to maybe 5 corporals in each department. And I think you can get away with having 1 sergeant per shift per department, but Owen, you and I, we had a pretty long conversation about this. I still think you could easily get away with another sergeant in shift 2 PBSO and another one in shift 1.
My main point
compared to how
being
many people
is,
are in those departments.
these people are already wrapped up with their sub departments, then we should give it to people that are thirsty for corporal.
If you think there's too many corporals as is, and you don't think people like Kurt are ready for corporal, then who the fuck would be a corporal?
I didn't say Kurt's not ready for corporal. I said it's just a weird situation that we're in where.
Well, I asked you to list
Kurt's
people you
on the
don't
same
think should.
level as someone else, you know.
I asked you to list people you don't think should be corporals because that was your initial that was a starter.
Yeah. And
you listed a bunch of LSPD
you're not
people,
wrong.
which is fine, but I mean, like who are the PBSO corporals? Because let's not pretend I'm going to go over the LSPD side and start demoting people, even if I could. Who are PBSO people you got a problem with being corporal? Kurt? You said
Pull this
Kurt.
up again.
You said
Hold
Cannoli.
on.
You said, I mean, are these people you have a problem with, or people that you're just like, holy shit, I can't believe they're corporal? Because that's
No, I don't have a problem with them. I just think that, again, the aforementioned sub department thing. So if we're just sticking to PBSO and not bringing any SDSO or anything else into it, like Turo really fucked up not too long ago. My opinion was asked on what should happen to him. Everyone agreed in that room with Toretti, and then the punishment never happened. And then
I
he
can't
immediately
remember
got
what
pushed to
punishment
corporal.
was
What do you mean the
He,
punishment never
he
happened?
was demoted for
He was
2.5 to
demoted.
3 months.
Yeah, we were gonna kick him to UPD.
What does that have to do with
me saying
deserving
actually.
corporal, Bloom? Stay on topic.
Well, what I'm saying is now it's like there was never a moment we weren't looking at him to be a corporal. Let's be honest with ourselves. The talks never ceased. We were always still looking at him as a corporal. In my opinion, he blew his chance there for a large amount of time, in my opinion, and we should have been looking at someone else.
I mean, I think you're assuming a lot.
I'm in the talks, sir. With all due respect, I saw that we were saying let's just hold off on Turo. Like it wasn't Turo messed up a lot. We're no longer looking at him as corporal. It was Turo messed up a lot. Let's wait a bit. That was the talk. It was never let's start looking at someone else.
Well, because his judgment on I think a corporal's judgment. I mean, to get into the weeds on
More
this.
than just one scene, yeah.
Well, no, the one scene that it was one scene he got demoted for though. But to get to nuts and bolts, it's like, did we see someone who could replace Toro's corporal? No. Were we waiting to? Okay, I mean, you're asking me a difficult question because it's going to require like a bit of understanding that the thing he did wasn't necessarily something that made us question his judgment as a corporal. It was something that made him question his judgment as like a deputy, right? I don't have a problem with him leading scenes or anything. I have a problem with the way he acted as a deputy. And so he got demoted because both are kind of considered. But in the end, the reason he was still being looked at to get promoted back up to corporal, and the reason we were like, all right, we like Turo still, and we want to promote him up still, but we can't because he just got in a big trouble thing, is because we weren't seeing any competition with him. We were seeing, okay, who's ready to be a corporal in his shift? And we kept thinking, all right, it looks like Turo hasn't done it again. This is kind of what we agreed on from day one, is that he's going to get demoted, and if he stays on the straight and narrow, he'll get back to where he was, right? He got to that position. He got to that position in the first place for a good reason, and he can get back there as long as he just doesn't do the same fuck up again, which he didn't for 3 months. So he got promoted again. I don't think that's pretty crazy. That's just kind of how it is, right? If you got demoted today for, let's say you shot the guy over the parking ticket without him even pulling a gun or something, just bad judgment. We're not really questioning your ability as a sergeant. We're questioning your ability to like identify targets, right? It's more of like a cognitive issue versus a leadership issue. And we would still think, okay, Bloom is probably ready to be a sergeant at any time. He's just serving punishment unless someone steps up beyond you. And if someone didn't, you would still be the guy, right? That's how we view these things.
And yeah, I can agree that that's definitely how things should be looked at to a degree. I guess Turo was a bad example because I'm not on shift 1. I can't see how other people are performing against him. So I'm not going to pretend to know if people were outshining him or we just kind of ignored them because we're waiting on Turo. I doubt we were. I'm not saying we were, but...
You said we were, though, to be fair.
Okay, you're right.
You did say that.
I did. You're right. I did say that.
I had a long list of people. It's just...
but looking at
the
roster, I do... Sorry?
In early shift 1, it was Turo and Tails, and then late shift 1, you had Mackenzie and Patty. Then order priority, I put Toro and Hayes first because they are at a whole level and standard compared to the other two. Tails is fantastic and is definitely on the road to becoming a corporal and someone down the line, but there's still a lot of things for her to learn. She's still very, very green. She still has issues with leadership and how she articulates herself with other people. Toro, for example, had a spotless career for a year where he pretty much solo revived PBSO PNT in early shift 1. Like he is a fantastic person, and then he's also doing amazing
Yeah,
on
I
the
like
field,
Toro,
great
for sure.
leadership. So it was like Owen said, it was one fuck up, and he was kind of an outlier. There wasn't really any other person. Tails is still on my radar, and if there's room for her to become a corporal down the line, 100% she's the next in line in early shift 1. But you know, we're already at the point of we have 4 corporals right now in shift 1.
Mm-hmm. Well, egg on my face for choosing Turo because I'm not ready to combat with any points on like, oh, Oliver Fury, Nikki, whoever the fuck else, right? Patty. I guess I would be able to bat a little bit for Patty now that she's mainly late 2 into 3. But yeah, bit egg on my face for choosing Turo as an example. But it was kind of a major fuck up where a punishment was agreed upon in person. It changed, and then to me, I thought it was only about a month. But you're telling me it's 3 months.
Stubble said 2 to 3. So
I promoted him like a week or 2 ago, and then I'm pretty sure it happened like late May or June. So, you know, at a while.
All right. Well, again, Turo was a bad example. It was just I'm scrolling down the list of this roster in front of me, and it was like who would I bring up, and he was the first one. But I mean, the issue still stands of like, not issue, sorry, because what Stubble brought up is perfectly true. Of yes, people like Jimbo Sutton are different to Anita Mae Cannoli, Lily, and Kurt Doug. They're just extremely different policing style, etc. But how do we not have corporals on duty? The answer is other people should be stepping up to the plate, and the counter to that is, well, people aren't. So I don't know. I guess I'm a bit jaded from bringing back the whole jaded thing from how quickly my rank has been swapped around while others in the past. This
yeah, I think Bloom lost the plot.
Anything recent before the restructure. And then the promise from everyone that I, for some reason, still latch on to was this is a different PD. And in reality, let's be honest, not much standard-wise past cadet phase has changed, in my opinion. I
think a lot has, especially if you consider sergeants. We have a lot less sergeants. We have a lot less lieutenants. We have about 20 less captains. So there's stuff that's changed for sure, but it may not be readily obvious on the day-to-day stuff, because let's face it, there's a reason we didn't need 20 captains. It's because they weren't really doing a whole lot out there. It didn't change your day-to-day. I mean, this goes back to, this is more of like a discussion than an interview at this point. That's fine. We did the same thing with Barrack. It's it comes down to when you're a sergeant, so you're privy to a lot of this, and I want you to understand what your high command's thinking, so you have faith in us. But I mean, it's why we don't have a bunch of captains. It's because there was a fundamental belief under Pred's system, I guess, where he thought they should have a high command member around 24/7. There should always be a high command member, or at least maybe even 2 around at all times, you know? And what did that accomplish, really, other than undermining the sergeants and the lieutenants and the whoever else? Having a high command member around makes it less likely for people to go to regular command, right? The more accessible high command is, the less needed command is. And I think the same thing kind of applies to current situation, right? The more accessible I am, the more accessible Stubble is, the less likely people would opt to go to you. And that's the reason you see a lot of activity, I think, in this shift, in shift 2, is because we're just simply almost never around in this shift. And maybe I am like 2 or 3 times a month, but whatever. Same thing goes for having a lot of lieutenants around, having a lot of captains around. And I think what you're talking about with your sergeant, not complaint, but your sergeant thing, is that people go to you a lot instead of corporals. It's because you guys are available a lot. I think that, in my point of view on the chain of command, is that the chain of command gets enforced from the top down, not the bottom up, right? The more accessible you are, the less likely they'll go to it's how it works, right? Why would you go to a corporal if a sergeant can hear you out? Or why would you go to a sergeant if a lieutenant? Because the higher up you go, the more likely they are to solve your issue first try, and the more likely you are to getting good or make a relationship with someone who could promote you later on. So that's my point of view on that anyways. I think Stubble really wants to push for having at least one member of command around for each department for each shift. And I think we're going back and forth on that. But, I mean, well, I guess we'll talk to whoever the lieutenant is about that too.
Well,
We'll do
I'll
that for
tell
later.
you as far
That's
as
that old mentality I've got.
I feel like we're getting back to the interview part, which is probably for the best. But certainly this little conversation has opened my eyes a little bit to certain issues. The last issue you brought up from the top down, I think, I mean, that's what I've been living by as far as chain of command. And
I'm very acutely aware of it because I worked under Toretti for so long. He
yeah.
Open door, open sheriff, nobody comes to the captain, nobody comes to the lieutenant. There's no reason to. Why would you?
I know you're a stickler for chain from experience and from just watching.
Well, it's also how I mean, I'm not gonna write it off as completely intentional. I guess I am an accidental asshole too, but the more unapproachable I am, the better off it is for the chain of command as well. I mean,
True.
If I don't think I'm total asshole, but I understand I have a reputation. That's probably a good thing for the chain of command because it means more people are likely to access my subordinates.
Yeah. So basically, to sum up what I was saying, there's some angles I didn't look at things prior, and I'm now looking at them from the angle.
Thanks to the sub, Billy Goofy. Thanks to 25 months.
We agree on
brother.
A lot of the shit, especially when it comes to chain of command.
All right. Stubble, do you have that? What is that question about the? Is that the last one we have? About his 3 picks?
Well, one before that is who would you pick as the sergeant replacement if you get lieutenant?
Oh God, I hate saying it. Sounds biased, but Lily's a no-brainer. I hope that I can get it across that that's not I'll try to make that as not biased as possible.
I think some people will definitely look at you and be like, "Oh, nepotism, oh, look biased." But
yeah,
I think
I'm sure
people
y'all
need
can
to
fucking figure it
disconnect
out.
from that and look at the career that Pond has and make their own decision.
If
So-
people knew how many arguments she and I got in because I disagreed with her, like holy shit, I'll never fucking learn. But yeah, she's a no-brainer. Going back to the whole how people already view the chain of command as deputy, corporal, Lily, me. So I mean, I just think it's a no-brainer pick. I think she's a no-brainer lieutenant pick if I don't get it.
Well, that leads into the next thing of top 3 picks for lieutenant. You can include yourself, no particular order.
No order. Myself, Lily, Mueller. I can give reasons for that if you care.
Sure.
I'll start with Mueller. Out of the current candidates that are, to my knowledge, that applied,
Mueller vote's good.
He's the only one
Surprising.
willing to be around.
I
I
like
think
Mueller.
shift 1 is already fucking stacked with people. Svensen's typically around then. You're around then, Stubble. When y'all are on duty, you got corporals out the ass. Candace comes around a fair bit from my understanding. Correct me on that if I'm wrong. Mueller will actually dip in other shifts. He'll still fucking be shift 1, which sucks. Really wish he was a shift 2 cop. But
I told him to go back.
He'll still. Sorry, I was altering the roster. I fixed it though.
There is 0 chance anyone
He'll
gets poached
still
for
be a
it.
shift 1 cop, but at least he's
Too
willing
many good
to
PBSO
come
applicants.
around. People like Candace, we're never gonna fucking see her once a year maybe on any other shift. I'm not gonna go around and not shitting on, but giving my reasons why not the other people. But it's pretty much the same across the board. Out of the options that were brought to me the other day by you, Stubble, Mueller is the only one that sticks out to me as someone that will actually affect, in my important one of the more important shifts, shift 2, especially the latter half to shift 2. Lily, we kind of already touched on it. Just fucking already treated and revered highly, which I think is a long time coming because I feel like she was overlooked a fair bit. She's also changed a lot. I'll take partial credit in that. a very different person from when she was in LSPD, and I think that people are a lot warmer towards her, and actually treat her with the respect that she deserves. And I think she's already treated like a sergeant. Why the fuck not? And also, again, someone that will be around in all shifts. She's fucking around forever, which could also be a problem, like Svensen said. More approachable, more around more often, yada yada. And myself, I'll be honest. I'm just good at my job, and I'll just keep doing it. I mean, I'm not really that much of a hard read.
So
I'm
what do you
going to
3
continue
picks?
doing the work.
3 picks, real quick. Rapid fire.
Yeah, me, Lily, Muller.
Okay, in that order or any order?
No specific order. Actually, here's what I'll say, and this is a perfect world. If I don't get lieutenant, if I get lieutenant and she doesn't get sergeant, that I would prefer her get lieutenant over me. And I know that sounds a little bit more biased, but it's just at least I can have someone there that fucking knows their job in a commanding position. So fuck it.
And you don't
I'll go
think,
and change my answer
you don't
right
think
now.
Mueller
regardless.
or any of the other people you suspect applied wouldn't provide that?
Not in the shift that. I mean, I'm being selfish here. Here I'm being selfish and
Well,
biased.
what do you think
is-
Lieutenant does? That's actually a good audible question. What do you think Lieutenant does? What do you view their position in the
A lot
greater
of back
hierarchy?
end, a lot more back end stuff. Pretty much allowing sergeants to exist, which I know sounds a bit morbid, but like if the sergeants are making sure the shift runs well, which is what they're here to do, the lieutenants are here to make sure that the sergeants and everyone are taken care of without really being seen. However they do that is, I guess, kind of depending on them, but yeah, lieutenants are more of a back end role, which is why I'm even comfortable changing my answer regardless of if I get if I get lieutenant and I can't guarantee her, or if she is guaranteed a sergeant, I don't care anymore. I'll change my order. Fucking Lily, me, and then Mueller. Is the final answer. Locking in.
Well, glad you locked in, but I think this is incredibly different from what you said. But I think the way we treat Willie as a lieutenant of PBSO and the way I treated Stubble when he was the PBSO lieutenant. Sorry, Willie's the SDSO lieutenant. But anyway, they're like the head of the department. It's not just like letting sergeants exist. It's more about they are the direction and the head of that department. They lead things day to day, week to week, month to month. They're the vision, the direction. They're the spiritual leader of the department. And
May I really quick?
Okay.
Am I wrong in just kind of assuming it's the old watch commander?
Yes, absolutely.
Because that's kind of how I view it, and
Absolutely
I guess I
wrong.
didn't articulate it well. Okay, so
I
I'm
would
wrong.
view
Okay.
it more of like the
I'd
way
say
we.
old captain.
I would say I would actually. I would
Okay,
say
old
it's the way
sheriff
we.
without high command.
I would say it's the way we viewed old sheriffs to some degree. I mean, if you asked Willie, I don't know if you talk to him regularly. I don't suspect you do, but
used to.
Almost
Not-
every
not
decision that comes across our desk, our collective desk for SDSO, anyone can tell you it's what does Willie think? What does Willie want to do? We're okay with what Willie wants to do. And I mean, at this point, there's no commissioner's office, to be blunt. Stubble and I are effectively what Toretti and Axel and Sam Bass were. There's no commissioner. There's probably not going to be a commissioner. We need our lieutenants to be more of visionaries and more of like department leaders than just operations, day-to-day stuff. We need people to like create a vibe and run the department and make sure people are interested in running the department, get new hires and supervise their PNT and make sure that the morale, whatever the fucking buzzword of the year, the century, morale is okay. Yeah, I mean, lieutenant's an incredibly big position to me, and Stubble can tell you, maybe I'm wrong, but I think I give a lot of autonomy towards lieutenants in terms of what they want to do and what they need to do. It just kind of, that's what we need a lieutenant to be more of just like than a person in command on the shift.
I think I'm not disagreeing with you. It's hard to disagree with what your vision is, right? So this is my opinion, but that to me just is. Let me preface by saying I've only been a cop for 2 years and like a month. So watch commanders were a thing, but not really a thing. But that just sounds like what watch commanders were were described to me. So that's kind of
Maybe, but as a watch commander, that's not what they were. I mean,
yeah, for
maybe
sure. they
people tried to
weren't,
market
for sure.
watch commander as that, but I mean, when I was a watch commander in LSPD under Sam Bass, I had no freedom of like, and maybe that's an LSPD thing or whatever, but I really didn't have any control over hiring or any say in firing or any say in like who's in my department or who gets promoted in my department or who gets promoted in my shift or any of that. I was kind of like Sam Bass was running everything by himself, and maybe I'd hear a whisper about some things on good days, but most people just avoid me and subvert me to go to Bass because he's a nicer guy. Why go to the top?
Definitely not how it was marketed.
Yeah, well, maybe the marketing failed, but that's why I insisted it was removed, because I didn't like it. I thought it was a waste of time. In any case, any more questions from Stubble?
No, I've got pretty much everything down.
Nah, no chance they do a election for the commissioner.
Just want to stand up, or are you gonna tell me to stand up?
No, you can stand up.
All right.
Well, thank you for your time, Bloom. It's
Not a
been,
problem. I'm gonna go to Hayes.
Yep. Well, good luck.
See you in the hospital.
All right.
McQuillan's gonna be here in like 10:15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So get him. Oh, might be here now.
Oh, hey, little bro.
Oh, what the hell? Your Honor.
How you doing, Under Sheriff, little
God
bro?
damn it.
Not too bad, sir.
He's not
too
here.
bad.
He's not here. I'm just ignoring him,
Bro,
dude.
what's going on?
So, 10 to 15 on
You
McQuillan, huh?
Hey, Earth to
Yeah.
Owen, your big bro standing here.
Wrong shoe color, dumbass.
Well, these are my shoes. I don't know why you insist on dressing like me, but it's okay. I don't blame you for it. I can see you got the wrong shoes and the wrong color shirt, but I'm not going to put it against you.
It's actually the same shirt, because you
No,
copied
it's not.
me. But I'm wearing a
My
vest,
shirt's
so the
a
lighting
lighter
looks
color.
different.
No, wrong. You're so wrong.
I
That's
know
why
you
you're
do
the
a
little
Donald
brother.
Trump impression. I don't think that's even...
I'm not. I do not sound like.
I wish you would
President
just talk
Donald
like
Trump.
yourself, Ethan.
Listen, Owen, I'm here because I'm trying to invite you over to dinner again, and you keep dodging my text.
Yeah, well, fuck you. You left us at the orphanage. I'm not going with you.
I don't look. Okay, I'm trying to make amends with everything.
I
that
hope you had
happened. I
fun
don't
in your
even-
Harvard education. You know they sold us for that, by the way?
Look, I've been trying to serve the community ever since. Okay, I joined the Navy.
You didn't serve us,
I
though.
became-
You never served us.
Why do you think I'm back, huh? Why do you think
You spent
when I heard about
30,
a judge job
40
going
years
in Los Santos,
serving yourself
I took
at
it.
Harvard, in the Navy, now as a judge. You got all that money from our parents who
I took
sold
this
us
job
so you
for
could go to Harvard.
Because I took this job for you
fucking
so I
guy.
could move here and reconnect with my family.
You don't always get what you want, Ethan.
Why is it so hard for you to just let me back in so I can try to make amends?
Because me and Malton spent so long digging ourselves out of that hole, that fucking orphanage, pulling ourselves up from our bootstraps, because our parents, ex-parents, sold us so you could have a Harvard education, and now you're sitting here rubbing it in our face as a judge.
I'm not trying to rub it in your face. I'm trying to show you.
You come in here every day and you copy
I
my
didn't
outfit.
Really know.
You
I did. I'm not copying your outfit.
You
little
are.
bro.
Look at you.
I'm not.
Look at
You're
yourself,
copying
Ethan.
Me.
You're
I'm your
crazy.
inspiration.
You come in here copying my
What are you
exact
talking about?
outfit. Fuck you.
What do you mean?
Get the hell out of here. Coming in dressed like
I'm your
me.
Inspiration. You've always told me. All those
I've
letters
never
you
said
used to
that.
write,
Bullshit.
your
Stubble,
pal
you're
Luca,
gonna
he
need to
told
arrest me if you
Your-
start
your
saying
pal
that
Luca
inspired
told me all the time.
I don't think I could do
when
that.
you served together.
You never inspired me. You're copying me. Don't
No,
say it again.
That's why. Because I was. in
Don't
the
say it
Navy,
again,
that's why you
Ethan.
joined NATO, right?
Ethan, I'm warning you.
I just want you to come over for.
You know what you should do, Ethan? You should take a visit to the dam.
Wait.
I think at the bottom of it, you might find something interesting.
What do you mean?
I think you might find something of interest at the bottom of the dam, Ethan.
You're not insinuating what I think you are you?
I don't know what you think I'm
He's
insinuating.
been missing for years, Owen.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I think you should go investigate.
Owen, our youngest brother has been missing for years. Don't you start this.
Lance is fine.
You know who I'm talking about.
I think Lance is at home in his apartment. I was there earlier.
You know I'm not talking about Lance.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but go visit the dam. It'd be a sobering moment for you, you fucking alcoholic. Can't get off the bottle.
I'm not an alcoholic. What the hell are you talking
You're
about?
drunk right now, you fucking maniac.
I'm not.
Did you
I'm
drive
3
here?
years sober.
I could smell it on your breath.
Okay, maybe I had a few cognacs before coming here, but can you blame me every time you try to shove me out?
I can't blame myself because I didn't get. You know what? You didn't get left at the orphanage. You'll never know how it feels.
I know, but it wasn't my decision, was it?
It was your decision to never
know,
make
I could've
contact with
stayed.
us until 40
could've
years later.
stayed.
40 years you
stayed
waited to make
in my
contact with
little
us.
ivory tower with all my
And you did for
Navy
40
medals
years.
In Jack. Oh, I didn't know what happened to you, did I?
Yes, you did. We sent you letter after letter.
Just come for dinner.
And you
please.
kept writing back, fuck you, poor. You know what that did to us,
Well,
Ethan?
Well, it looked like poor people were writing to me. I didn't realize it was you. I thought it was just other poor people. I was in Harvard. What did you want me to do? I had to live up to the college frat boy attitude. Those Ivy League schools are hardcore. You don't understand the pressure that I was under.
Yeah, it must have been so hard going to Harvard in your nice apartment downtown while we were living in a fucking orphanage, clawing our way up from poverty.
We both had our battles, okay? No one's saying that it was easy for you, but you can't understand how hard it was for me as well.
It must have been so
To
hard.
score in the top 10th percentile at Harvard for law and then be recruited into the Navy to work in JAG?
Are you done? Go get your bottle and get out. Fucking drunk.
Just the offers there, Owen. Just think about it, okay?
Go get drunk or something. You
I'm not,
drink it away
you know,
like you always
You
do.
can come share the bottle with me at my place, right?
Fuck you. Try it on
Well,
Lance.
look, I'm in the penthouse.
How
at
come
the
you always come to
Richmond
me but
Hotel
never
if you wanna
Lance?
see
What's your
me,
problem
okay?
with him? You don't like
Because
him?
Lance blocked my number or something. I can't even get through to him.
I don't have. You didn't call me.
I
You just
text
showed
you.
up. You did
I
not.
text you all the time. I checked Snapchat maps and saw you were here.
You didn't
So I
text
thought
me.
I'd swing in.
You didn't.
Not today. I haven't.
You have
Previously,
Snapchat.
I have.
Why the fuck is Harvey? Jesus Christ. Are you on the app?
Of course, I'm on the
You
app.
signed into the app for this?
I'm always signed. What do you mean? Yeah, of course. I just
How are
swing
you
by the
busy?
office.
Because you're drunk?
I am busy. I'm talking to my little brother.
Fuck
who
you. Don't
won't
call me
reconnect
little.
With me. You're just my little guy. Remember when I used to call you that, and we used to play? And I'd be like, "Where's the little guy?"
That never happened. You're
You were the
insane.
little guy,
You
Owen.
must be so drunk right now. You're hallucinating.
I'm not.
We never played when we
You
were
were
little.
always the little guy.
Talking about like an imaginary friend or something.
Owen, please, just look. Okay, I have the penthouse at the Richmond Hotel.
You know what? I don't want to say it,
Swing by.
but you're fucking pissing me off. Go back to your meth addiction.
Hey, I haven't touched meth since I
Gonna
left
keep
Harvard.
power
Okay, it
caving.
just helped me focus to study.
Oh yeah? What about the fentanyl?
Just come on, man. Just give it a rest. You're so full of hate and anger, and you don't need to be.
Easy to say from your position.
Look, I'll be at the Richmond for tonight, but I'm flying back out. I got a Navy parade. They're giving me another medal. Okay, so I won't be back in
Why the
town
fuck
for
are you
a little
getting
bit.
medals for being in the lawyer branch of the Navy?
Because I did some time on the ships as well, okay? I was on the aircraft carriers outside of the Middle East during Operation
I didn't know
Desert
they gave
Storm.
medals for pushing paper around.
It wasn't all just that, okay? I got the U.S. off a lot of war crimes.
You said you're on the Desert Storm. They're giving you the medal now.
No, that's not what the medal's for. I'm just saying I've done tours as well with the Navy.
What's the medal for, Ethan?
This one, it's I got the U.S. out of some hot water when they had a little tirade in Libya.
Oh.
Listen, okay. I didn't want to say this because I didn't want it to sound like I'm trying to buy your love or something like that. But who do you think put a good word in at The Hague? You think you just got acquitted of those charges on your own volition?
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. You fucking wish you did. That was a shitstorm.
We did what
I
was
pulled the
necessary
strings
over
I
there.
could.
We did what we had to do.
I'm not saying what you did was wrong. I'm saying you were sloppy about it, and I had to pull a lot of goddamn strings to make sure you boys didn't hang.
You did that for us?
I'd do anything for you. You don't get it, okay? I'd do anything for you.
Fucking guy, dude. I just power gamed him into a fentanyl addiction, a meth addiction, and being an alcoholic. And he just got me with the I acquitted you of the war crimes. Damn. You think he signs out of the app right away? Well, maybe he's actually gonna go be a judge. How long till McQuillan shows up?
He said, hold on, let me take a look. At 26 past, overslept, on duty about 20 minutes. So that's 5 minutes from now.
Mm.
I'm gonna send him an email saying, "Be faster."
All right. I'm gonna head real quick.
All right.
It was well timed. All right, I'll be right back real quick. I'm gonna check on something in the kitchen. All right, let's hope he's here. Double left. Guessing he'll be back. We'll just wait. We'll just wait. You know, your Ethan voice sounds a lot like your streamer voice. Back when you used to stream a lot. Which coincidentally sounds a lot like Trump for some reason. He used to talk to your stream. That voice. Oh man, my streamer voice. Wasn't Raven like 12 when he was streaming? No, he's like, I don't know, like 18, I guess, when he started? Really? Because now you're like, what, 23? I was not hanging out with a 12-year-old. And when if I was, I'd be like 16 at the time, so it's not that crazy. Sky's relying on Romeo and Juliet laws. Don't worry, I'm not fucking him. He lives in Australia. I could never. Couldn't do it. Okay, I'll buy. What the fuck is Bazingle? Wait, so it's Wordle, but like 8 letters? Isn't that the same thing? I'm too fucking shit at those word games, dude. I can't do it. But I will humor with something else entirely the same. Alright, guys. Today we're going to be playing a little bit of LOL. Alright. Guess the League of Legends champion. Alright, here we go. Guess stage champion. Any champion to continue. I'm going to start with Graves. Ooh, so he's a male. Uses mana, is ranged. Male mana ranged, not jungler. Not a human. Fuck you, Raven. That's not what happens. At least on the classic setting. Fuck. Male mana ranged, human, non-human. Teemo. Could be, no, yeah, it could be Teemo. Teemo. If he's not top, is a Yordle. Is ranged. I'm gonna go for Vigar. Vigar, as Emo would say. What? Not from Bandle City. Oh, wait. What? So how is this wrong? Ziggs then? I thought I got that for sure. No, fuck you. How is Ziggs a bottom laner still? Nobody's played Ziggs bottom in years. Dude. Can't be Tristana. Can't be a Mumu. Vex? Can't be Vex. It's a girl. Motherfucker, dude. I want to say Rumble, but Rumble's not mana. Can't be a Mumu. He's not ranged. Dude, this is too fucking hard. I'm losing it. A Yordle. Who's a Yordle? From Bandle City. Dude, Bozo is grimace. He's like, what are you looking at me like that for, huh? You guys are not helpful with the Tarek. Can't be.
So you just sitting here by yourself?
No, I'm waiting for someone. Well, yeah, I am right now. I'm waiting for someone now.
I'm going to bed. Do you need food or anything?
Yeah, if you got any food, I'll take it.
Yeah. There you go.
Alright, thanks.
Yep, have a good night.
Easy food. Are you interviewed Toretti? No. We only viewed Tommy Toretti. What are you doing up at fucking 4 in the morning, John Dabrowski? I mean, John the bitch-ski. Gonna go back to bed in an hour. Alright. If I've promised to use my Prime in 2 days, will you play Bazingle? Craig? No. Dude, I'm really bad at those kind of games. I'm struggling with the one that's LOL specific. There's no way I could ever beat those games. It'll be embarrassing. Is the answer always Bazinga? What? Bazingle. Why is there... Okay. Wow. That is fucking crazy. Holy shit. That's insane. I'm gonna share that. Let's go to Twitter. Ah, fuck it. I'll link it, whatever. Look at that, everybody. Huge. Back to Lodel. Okay. I saw Heimer. I think someone meted it. But you know what? I'm cheating. No, it's not Heimer. Hey, yo. Clear the cheating accusations from Mia, please. Corky? Where's Corky from? Yo, he's from Piltover. All right. Let's try the quote. Metal meet metal. Oh, fuck, I don't know who the fuck this is, dude. Dude, I don't know who the fuck this is. Metal meet metal. Mord? Metal? Who is a metal-based champion? Poppy? The hammer. Rumble. This crank. Fuck. Rel? Who's got metal? I already guessed that shit, Doc Bay. Victor, I don't think it's Victor, but we can try that. Alright, I did a clue. Fuck, I'm cheating. It's gonna be loud as fuck, I think.
Metal. Meat metal.
Owen.
Yeah?
Food by your feet.
Yeah, I already
Tell
got food.
McCullen give us like 2 or 3 minutes, and
Okay.
then we didn't talk about Bloom after it, so we probably.
Alright. Yeah. Was it Urgot? Dude, it's Urgot.
Not bad.
John the Bitchski nailed it.
Definitely better.
Meat metal.
There was some dumb answers in there, and there was some like, as he said, you know, filibustering. He definitely like rambled for a bit, but
Yeah, big rambler. Fuck
the
Wrangler.
guy
He's a
kinda
rambler.
good one.
Doesn't really work.
Guy, he kind of knows what he wants, and he knows what the like his direction is. So I like that. I know it's kind of like hard to kind of weigh like where he is when we only have 2 people so far, but he's good.
It was good, I guess. It was much better than, I mean, the bar was pretty low with Barrett, to be honest. Yeah. Alright, bring him in. Okay.
Alright.
Talk about it both after.
Yeah. Alright. Get in there. On the sofa. Did I tell you why you're coming in?
No. you didn't.
Oh, okay. PBSO Lieutenant Interest Form. Your name was on it.
Yes.
Signed up.
Signed up, huh? Well, this is it. It's the interview. Surprise. First question, as we've gone through everybody, name. It is McQuillan, right? There's no like
Tig
secret
McQuillan.
name. There's
No.
Tig
secret name.
McQuillan. Tig. All right. Yep. I've got it. So to give you a rundown of how it is, we have some consistent questions that every single applicant will receive. So we're able to compare it across the board, and then there gets a little like free form where we'll just shoot the shit, We have gone off topic. We might go off topic. We might not. It kind of depends. It'll be a little bit more freeform towards the end. You can ask us questions. We'll ask you questions, and that'll be it. Nice and sweet.
All right, sounds good.
All right. So first thing is to get kind of like an idea of you as a person, as a leader, as a officer, is to go through strengths and weaknesses. So we'll start with weaknesses at the beginning. What are your biggest issues, personally?
Are we talking about in related to like the position
On the
or
job,
just in,
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
job?
Yeah.
Weaknesses probably, when it comes down to it, is going to be stuff related to court or even raids, because it's stuff I don't do too often. Not saying that I would be bad at doing it, it's just lack of experience with it. I can be fairly hard-headed at times as well. I put that down as a weakness, but
What do you mean by that?
I can be rooted to what I think is right in terms of my point, which sometimes can be good, but sometimes can obviously it can be bad. That's if I'm like feeling extremely strongly about a certain point. Like if I really do feel that it should be a certain way, then I won't really budge on it. I will see other people's point of views, but unless I can be really convinced, I'll just stick to what I believe will be right for whatever it is.
I changed the title to have an S on interviews. That's it.
All right. And what about strengths?
Strengths.
Yeah.
I think my leadership on the field during calls has only gotten better, especially with HSPU, and keeping people focused on what is the primary task at hand. Especially, I don't know if you were part of the vault a couple days ago, when I called out that it was Rust, and obviously when we get an idea of who the actual target is with the loot, keeping people focused on that target instead of just turning into golden retrievers and just chasing whatever moves. That's something I've gotten quite good at, is keeping people together in those kind of very hectic moments, and giving them some sort of leadership to keep focused, I guess.
So leadership on calls and like keeping people on track of their current target.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably my biggest strength at the moment. Obviously, technical ability, driving, and I mean that kind of speaks for itself, really.
All right. Biggest issues for the PBSO right now, and how, as the lieutenant, you would fix them.
Biggest issues I've seen across the entirety of shifts, because the past few weeks I have dipped into shift 2 just to see what it's like in a comparison. It's a very different shift. However, same problem of morale, keeping people happy on shift and keeping them going through longer shifts than I've seen in shift 3, especially where it takes one bad call to send more than half the units off duty, or just kills the morale that you're almost fighting them to respond to the next call. I think that's easily the biggest one. How I'd fix
Morale.
it or attempt to fix it is
Another morale
that
issue.
extra bit of leadership.
I bet everyone
or
says that though.
that they can rely on to give them that energy back, just to go into the next. I mean, look, there's Rust already. To go into that next call with maybe the same energy that they arrived with the last one that got sucked out of them. But there seems to be that lack of, especially in shift 2, that lack of leadership if there aren't certain people on duty. Someone who gives a lot of that leadership would be like Sweets in shift 2, but if he's not around or if he's occupied, then getting 77s or anything like that in shift 2 is like pulling teeth. That that is what I see as like the biggest issue. And I said there's quite a gap to the next issue. Like there's a few.
Yeah, I think you'll die if you do that.
Probably personal issues that people have, but I'd say that's probably the biggest one.
Like what?
Morale, 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 morale.
Other people, like if they're late on comms or if they're calling it the wrong thing. It's stuff that I always hear after a call, but it's very much how do I word it? It's something that you could address on a personal level, but it's mainly I don't know how to word it. It's very small things that if could be addressed through like my position that I have been doing, of just improvements in certain areas, because I feel I get a lot of those kind of like complaints after calls of people complaining that certain people are constantly doing calls late or they shouldn't be in certain certs because of how late certain calls are coming or stuff like that. And then that compounds on the overall morale of everybody because they don't want to deal with it, I guess.
Okay. Oh, and there's a question that we should ask the other ones that I'm adding to our list of questions we asked them all.
All right.
Why do you want to be lieutenant?
I think I've said it to you and to Beric that I don't just want to stagnate. Like I want to improve myself to keep going up as long as I'm fit for the job. I want to be that person to be able to help and make the changes to the main issues within PBSO and the shift overall. It wouldn't be something I put my interest in for if I didn't think I was capable of doing it or that I wanted it. I want to be that. Yeah, I just want to be that person to make that change. And if I'm not going to be hard set on, dig my heels in and say I'll do it eventually. If I'm not fit for the job, then I'm not fit for the job.
What do you think the job of lieutenant is?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's another good one.
Well, I know it's going to be a hell of a lot of back end work.
Back
along
ends.
with
I got robbed by morale.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my words together. I know Lieutenant at the moment is kind of being that figurehead for the department. You're essentially the lead of that entirety of the department. And I know as Lieutenant, a lot of people are going to lean on you for guidance, for dealing with a lot of the complaints, issues that are going to come up from day to day throughout all the shifts. And kind of keeping the whole department moving forward as a whole in a progressive way. But in day to day, I'll be honest with you, I don't fully know what the job is going to entail. I see it very much that I'm going to, if I do get the position, it's going to be very much learning on the go and
You're just saying that because he's Irish,
getting
skunk.
used to
I have
it.
to discard your opinion.
Very much like the way Dark did with
Apparently you guys hate
getting
Irish.
his position, right? Wasn't something that he got, or sorry, he wasn't in command beforehand. Not very much experience with it all, but has done very well with the position. That's kind of where I see myself at with it. I don't know what it's fully going to entail, but I don't think that I can't handle it. To be brutally honest with it.
Okay. Oh, and you got a thing.
Yeah, what would you do as lieutenant? What's your like your first act as an official lieutenant if you were appointed?
My first act. I don't think I'd have it very much like a first act. It would be something like I said. For me, it'd be something that I'd have to get used to over week, 2 weeks, up to a month. But first thing I would do is make my presence known as much as I can across all shifts. Make myself available to the command, and then as much as I can to other people that I do know. I wouldn't delve straight into every issue that pops up, because it's not something for a lieutenant to do. Is solve every problem, how small it be. But I would want to go across all shifts, because that's something that I'm available very much around the clock. I can be, and I would want to get a good knowledge of the shifts that I'm not in, which would mainly be after the tsunami, the rest of shift 1, and then all of shift 2. I have dipped into it, but not enough to know everybody on a better level. So that would be the first thing I'd want to do, is get onto that much more
Okay, little man,
personal
thank you.
level, and get to know command and everybody within that shift. I know everybody in shift 3. Like, that's not my my issue, right? It's getting to know everybody outside of my shift.
What does you becoming a lieutenant solve in the PBSO?
I would hope it would solve that missing piece of the puzzle of leadership and somebody to essentially lead the department as a whole. Obviously, when Stubble had it, when I don't think there was anybody better for that position when you did get it, Stubble. I don't think there is somebody who's that perfect piece of the puzzle now. I think everybody
raccoons
who
clear hedgehogs, you fucking
may,
bozo skunk.
put their interest in for this has their flaws, has their issues, but I think for me, I think I could be that solve of the missing piece of leadership of PBSO at the moment. That one person to be that essentially figurehead for the department.
What's the biggest issue in the PBSO, and how would you solve it if given lieutenant position?
Other than the morale issue, or
if that's what you perceive the biggest issue is.
I think current issue, morale is definitely the biggest one. An issue that I could see keep coming back, and has kind of cropped up a little bit last week, is that divide between SCSO and PBSO. It happened last week. We got told, I think it was Anita came to myself and Barrick saying, or asking if there was a split in shift 3 with PBSO not taking out SCSO cadets, which I didn't actually see it happening too much. I've rarely seen those cadets in queue, but it's something that I wouldn't.
Does this
kind of
help with
split, I
morale?
don't want to encourage it. Or
Yeah,
have
it does.
come up
Thank you
again,
for the 5 months.
Because I think the two departments, when they worked in harmony, are very, very strong, and just kind of cropping out anything in the future of that issue coming back up again. That would be not a current issue, but something that could come up.
So you haven't seen this firsthand, you just heard about it, maybe?
I seen it firsthand when it was a big thing a few months ago, but that was the first kind of time it's been brought up to me in the past month and a half.
And that's the biggest issue in the PBSO?
Outside morale,
Well, let's dig into morale, because what's going on with morale? What do you think the morale issue is? Where does it stem from? How do you guys solve it?
Well, morale in shift 3.
In general, you're saying morale.
Yeah.
I want you to answer what you think the morale issue is and where it comes from and how do we solve it.
So there's definitely different causes to it. The main cause, I think, for morale is when it's a certain when it's a day, a lot of shooting happens. It can wear on people a lot, and if there isn't that person to lead,
it is interesting, dude. Everyone has a morale issue
towards the end of the call.
Every person so
all
far
just be demolished. And I don't know. I don't think I have the perfect fix. I don't think there is a perfect fix because there's a few answers to it. A lot of it comes to dealing with groups, which we've done a lot here in Shift 3, of trying to prevent stuff like that. But and then
doing good. Usually up this hour, so
we're accelerating their plan and getting a shot quicker.
It's just a scene. Shift 3.
Excuse me. Solving that problem is outside of what I can probably do. I think I spoke to Stumble about it. I think as a lieutenant, it would be just to meet with the command and just get the sergeants and corporals to be those kind of people who aren't going to fall into that mindset after a call. But they have to be the ones to pick everybody back up and to go again with, the same energy that they arrived into that other call with. Don't let it just ruin their day or ruin their shift or eat them up because of it, because it is just another day. It is just another call, and there's stuff to be improved on from the call. That should be, talked about, and the good things that were done in that call should be vocalized and brought up, and not just the bad things. That's something that I would really drill into sergeants and corporals, that's what they need to do, not just fall into the negatives like everybody else might do from it. Because it's not something as a lieutenant that you can do all by yourself.
I think what to say, considering a lot of morale mentioning going on. It's interesting that he mentioned morale is mostly stemming from like what equates to losing calls, like getting shot or losing the suspects, versus most people are equating morale to being a mistrust of PD commands or high commands.
Like a magical wish. One thing you could change. Unlimited power.
Like he's saying morale, but for kind of different reasons than the other two. And I think his is a better version of why morale's low, because I think the war is kind of just like, I don't know. I guess
just because
I'm kind of let him talk and listen, but
I talked to you about it, and I think it would actually solve the issues that the attempted murder of a government employee charge. Making it not a massive adjustment to it, but an adjustment to be that deterrent, because at the moment, our previous deterrent in Shift 3, or even now in Shift 1 and 2, was units, like having that wave of units that if you shoot a cop or have some sort of ambush plan, that you're gonna get another 30 units breathing down your neck. Because that deterrent across all shifts now is not there.
Yeah, I agree, Loza.
And hasn't been there for a while. Changing that charge, I've kind of looked at it. It's 45 months. Personally, like at a minimum, I would bring it up to 60, and maybe allow it to stack twice.
Was the
just for it
question
to-
with all the power in the PD, or what was the question exactly, Stub?
Pretty much, if you could change anything to PD. So yeah, I'll allow.
Well,
Technically a DOJ thing, though, to be
It's
direct.
technically, yeah, it is technically.
You don't have control over that.
But change how the PD functions.
Yeah.
I think it's something else other than that, but that's like the main thing I would change.
You think people would stop shooting cops if they were facing more time? Or, I mean, it's an interview, so I'm trying not to make this a debate, but, you know, here's the counterpoint. I've been around for a long time, too long, and I've seen jail times as high as, you know, as high as they've ever been. I've seen jail times very low. The reality is that if you have jail times very, very high, they'll use that as further justification to wipe the cops because they can't go back to jail. It's kind of it's a double-edged sword both ways, where the shorter jail time is, the more likely they are to do it because fuck it, it doesn't matter if we get caught. And the higher jail time is, the more likely they are to do it because fuck it, we can't get caught. So, I mean, that's something to consider, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that's why removing removing the cap altogether, allowing it to stack, or just ramping up the charge itself, I don't think is the answer. I think a slight adjustment to it could be. Probably won't be, but the only reason I bring it up is from a personal standpoint in this shift, we have done everything outside of that to deter groups from shooting. Like everything. And ultimately, everything we do now in the field accelerates their plan to shoot us anyway. Rust is a massive example of that. I think it's over the past 2 weeks, they've, or two weeks to 17 days, they've shot us over 15 times. They've done armored car runs, I think 8, I've been keeping counting them, 8 of them, or 9 of them.
Yeah, 8 people to 13A.
The last one they did, they actually did a block before shooting us, and it wasn't an organized ambush.
Imagine that with
other
like jail
time
times
they've,
being, was that a 45, which they are now?
set up a
I'm
very
pretty sure like less than a year
well-organized ambush
ago, or maybe a
10 to
little bit
15
more,
minutes.
it was like,
every single time.
sorry, it was like about, I don't know, 20 months in jail
So if
for
we
a
get
cop killing,
aggressive with the
but
car,
it did stack.
The ambush happens 5 minutes in instead of 10 or 15. That's really, I don't think it's going to be like.
I think most of his responses seem incredibly Shift 3 centric, and the Seaside Rust violence spree.
I see that could change it, and if it doesn't,
Like almost
then
all of his responses revolve around Shift 3 being attacked on a regular basis by Rust and I think Seaside a little bit, maybe Hydra even a tiny bit.
I don't think opening a dialogue with them is impossible either. It's actually something I did yesterday with kind of impromptu. I was just getting fuel after a call, and
They're really like lieutenant like answers are kind of like
2 of them came up to me.
Shift 3 like sergeant answers.
I think it was one of them was Kate Miles, and she was telling me that she doesn't have her car because she got however much in fines, and her car is an impound for a lot. And then I said, well, they shouldn't be shooting cops. As another one came out of the 24/7 and said that we essentially forced them into doing it.
Yeah, I actually agree with that, Scott.
It turned into
It's a good
maybe a
analysis.
20-minute conversation. Beric was there as well. Somewhat constructive.
What's up, Tinker?
So I don't think a dialogue with most, especially with Russ, is not possible. I'm waiting to hear back because they're going to talk to more of their group and high command to see if that can be listened to and get it to
Might just tell them that.
shooting to somewhat slow down. But at the end of it, like if the charge doesn't change, you're kind of forced into dialogue, and that's something I think anybody can do. You don't just have to be a lieutenant. As long as you are somebody who they see a lot, is a focal point in the chases that they're in.
Is he
or
kind of
the
talking
shootouts
himself
that they're
out of
in,
the lieutenant position right now?
you can be that person as long as you have some sort of the authority to do it, to open that dialogue and get them to slow down whatever we're struggling with, I guess. Which is what I'm hoping will happen, but we'll see.
It almost feels like he's realizing he doesn't need lieutenant, but that might be like my perception. We'll blast him.
Got any other questions, Owen?
I have a few comments, not questions, if you wanted to ask something.
We go to the ones that we go towards the end, like no order, top 3 picks for lieutenant. You can't
This is
include
McQuillan.
yourself.
He's a shift 3 corporal.
Regardless of if I know they want it or not.
Yeah.
I think top pick for me, I'm probably biased, but also he does a ton of work and is pretty much a figurehead himself already. Beric would be my number 1. 2, Cannoli. I do think I would be very good as well.
Actually,
The only
surprising to
reason
hear
I put
Barrick.
myself
Cannoli's
lower
not that
down
surprising,
is,
because Cannoli's pretty well
lack of
regarded, to be
experience with
honest.
men. I'd put myself at 3.
I think Cannoli's pretty well liked, honestly.
You said reasons for yourself and Barrick, but you didn't say why you picked Cannoli.
Oh, sorry. Cannoli has the same kind of presence, I guess Barrick does, but in his own shift. Like, I very much see those two as one and the same, but obviously on either side of the shifts of PD as a whole. Cannoli is very very liked in his shift and does very, very, very good work every day I've seen him on duty when I'm in shift 2.
Okay. Got those comments ready.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'd say your answers were pretty good overall, but I do just want to say, and you acknowledged that the role of lieutenant was more than just a shift 3 sergeant and more of like a figurehead for shift 3, or not shift 3, a figurehead for the PBSO, and that's almost dead on. But a lot of your answers towards what you would do with the position were almost incredibly shift 3 centric, and I understand for sure that shift 3 is faces a unique problem where you have incredibly violent offenders who just won't stop attempting to wipe out the police, nightly, weekly, whatever. I'm very aware of it through Reed. I know she's dealing with that a lot, and Stubble and I have the, I guess Stubble probably deals with it more than I do, but I have the privilege of not really interacting with that type of stuff. The truth is that we need a lieutenant to probably be more cognizant of the entire department. And when you said figurehead, that's exactly right. We want with a lieutenant is someone to lead the department in terms of vision, motivation, keeping a pulse. You don't have to individually do hiring and firing, but there's someone who's going to be critical to each process. And if you don't see Willie almost at all, I presume, because he's in shift 3 sometimes, but he mostly stays, keeps to himself and SDSO in shift 3. But if you were to ask him about it, I'm sure he would say the following: that we expect him to lead his department. When Stubble was a lieutenant, it was the same. We expect the PBSO lieutenant, whoever it might be, to lead the PBSO forward, and not just come to us and ask permission, but to lead it. And if they need help, or they need guidance, or they need tools or assistance or anything else, we can provide that. But there is no commissioner's office anymore. That's kind of what me and Stubler are doing now, and Reed and Stark and Tessa. It's more of a bigger position for us, so we want lieutenants to kind of take on the position of leading their own department. Think about Snow, for example. He's leading the troopers and doesn't really require any extra input. So I guess that's my only real feedback with your answers is that you got to consider the other shifts. And the the morale issue is interesting because a lot of people brought up morale, to be blunt, but most people attribute the morale issue to being from the war and or communication from high commands. And I definitely understand that Shift 3 has a bit of morale issue, but I think morale is a nebulous term that has different definition to different people. In the end, it kind of ends up meaning like people feel down. But the reality is that people are going to feel down a lot because cops are not going to come out on top of every situation. We're just not. It's impossible. We're not designed for it, and we just can't do it. We don't have the people, the manpower, the tools, the equipment, the place for jailing them, etc. So we kind of got to be okay with, like, you know, sometimes we're going to get shot at. Sometimes we're not going to get the bad guys who shot at us. And if that's causing a morale issue, then we might need to re-examine who exactly is, like, in the right positions, you know? Who's leading the people in the right direction.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. To bounce off that, I can only really speak on what I personally, you know, deal with a lot. I'm not in Shift 2 a huge amount, but with getting, like, let's say I got the position, right? I'm not completely blind to other issues that are in different shifts. I would spend a lot of the first, you know, 2-3 weeks across all shifts getting the idea of what the issues are in the other shifts. Like Shift 2, I have a brief idea that the morale is still low, but it comes from different places. Morale here, we get shot a lot, and then, you know, lack of leadership in a certain call where we get shot a lot, it drives morale to the floor. The morale in Shift 2, from what I've seen, is lack of leadership to get people responding to 77s or responding to calls that they may not want to respond to. That seems to be one of the biggest things, on top of, obviously, everything with the war. You're completely bang on saying that. That's not really a Shift 3 problem, because a lot of Shift 3 cops didn't sign up for it or go to it. But a lot in Shift 2 or in a lot of Shift 1 did. So that compounded on not getting backup in Shift 2 is driving the morale down just as getting shot or lack of leadership in Shift 3 it's like I said, morale has a lot of it's one vague term, but has a lot of different causes to drive it down or bring it up. And Shift 2, I think, is that it's that lack of backup. It's that lack of, I mean, I was on duty yesterday. There was 26 units on duty. A lot of them end up doing other things. But to have 26 units on duty and to struggle to get 1 or 2 77s, regardless of there's not regardless, but even if there's not another call going on, which yesterday there wasn't, and it was a struggle to get a few 77s for certain calls. That I would think is the big morale hitter in Shift 2. But spending time to get to know the shift as a whole, where its issues are, where its strengths are, to kind of amplify that, it's something that, you know, would take time. It's not something I know, you know, right off the bat. Or
Guilt doesn't show up at his Mustang.
To it.
Kinky
But I
was
do
never
my
getting
very
a
best
promotion.
to get as much knowledge about it as possible, to put people in the right direction to make the changes to bring that morale up, to try and make changes or make the changes that people want, or find some compromise in it. Because it's not always going to be, you know, the perfect fix or the thing that people want. But finding a compromise for people to be like, all right, I'm happy with that, is something that you have to do a lot.
Well, there's like 2 court cases. Johnny Devine paid his lawyer $300K.
You know, people always don't get what they want.
All right, I'm good. Any other questions from you, Stubble?
Nope, I'm good. Any questions for us?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm sorted.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
All right, look at my aimbot watch.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna track him through walls here. Tracking him through walls. Dude, look at this aimbot. Holy shit. Fuck, it breaks there. It's weird. It's just me holding right click when I'm in first person to lock on with like the fist fight. You just get out of range for it. Idiot. Alright, what do you think?
He's still pretty green.
Yeah. I think he had good answers, but not great.
Good
And a lot of
answers.
them were
Yeah.
I feel like I said to him, a lot of them were very shift 3 centric in terms of like his view on stuff. It was very like
It's just a very patrol
yeah,
oriented.
very patrol, very in the moment orientated, not
Department functions.
Yeah. Yeah. Good answers, but
Like big fan of his. You know what is the role of lieutenant? Like that was the.
that was a
perfect
great answer. Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Because he at first he said a lot of back end, and I was like, ooh, but then he was like,
Yeah.
but also the face of the department. I think because I did a lot of the back end stuff, I think a lot of people just basing their idea of what lieutenant is.
Well, I think
on
back
me.
end is such a nebulous
Yeah.
term. What does it even fucking
It's
mean
like,
to these
what
people?
does that even mean?
Yeah,
I
like
update the roster every now and then.
it's like nothing. Like that.
yeah,
Lieutenant doesn't even use the MDW permissions, so
Yeah.
it's not like anything matters there. But anyway, I was gonna say something else, man. What the fuck was I gonna say? I'll let you know if I think about it. Damn.
I expected Barricade is top 3, but not Cannoli.
Yeah, Curly seems to be well liked. That's not really a surprise to me though.
Mm-hmm.
I always knew people liked him. I was gonna say the morale issue. I mean, obviously, it's just an easy thing to say, but I got to be honest. At some point, like, I just don't think morale's that low. Generally, I mean, I know that people perceive it to be, and I guess people's perception is reality to them. But when it comes to morale, I mean, if we're being realistic, how much higher
it
could
can
it
be really bad recently.
Yeah, but right
it's
now
been pretty
it's
good.
It's been pretty.
Like,
Yeah, considering all things.
It's all over the place. The last like
I think a lot of
I
people
would
who
say
buy
last
into the
year.
morale issue stuff, it seems like they're almost indoctrinated by like Terrence Walker more than anything. Like they're reading his tweets, and that's where their perception of PD comes from. Like and maybe maybe that's our fault, is that we're not communicating enough with our officers to tell them that we're on top of this stuff. But it
That's
seems like a
pretty
lot
good.
of people are kind of like stuck in like this PD's failing,
that's what it
PD's
goes back to
failing,
Barrack thing,
and then you ask
right?
them why PD's failing, and they can't come up with anything. It's just because they're like repeating a narrative from Kyle
Yeah.
Pratt and Terrence Walker, like on accident. And I don't think they're consciously doing that by any means, but I think they like people say it enough, they just kind of like start believing it, and they start getting down on themselves. And then you ask them like, well, what's the issue with morale? And they kind of just like stop for a second, and they're like, well, I don't know. Other people keep saying it. I don't remember, you know. And it's like,
I mean,
it's
Blue made a
cognitive
good point.
dissonance.
Blue made a good point with the whole, you know, a lot of people, they do things that they don't want to do, or they're just doing the same thing as always.
Yeah, they're stuck in a rut.
Because, well, that's burnout, right? And I think a lot of people, burnout equals morale, and that's where like some things go wrong.
And there's just nothing we
And-
could do about burnout.
Yeah,
That's people.
Well, I mean, Bloom had solutions to it, and he's not wrong. I think an amazing thing to see from leadership. And I don't think this should be a lieutenant thing. I think it should be a corporal thing. And as Bloom said, you could be anybody to do it, but to be on the field and inspire people on patrol to do different things and to change it up, you know,
True.
focusing on the Vagina Act.
I mean,
Focusing
that's why
on
that's a big
going to
reason why
Polito.
people like
Yeah.
people don't really see a lot of value in people. You know, I guess past tense people like Silas, but that was the reason that Silas got sergeant in my eyes,
Oh,
is
he was
because
great. Yeah.
he wasn't necessarily like charging in the battle, but he was, you know, creating a different avenue for people to do stuff and keep them fresh. And the same thing to a certain degree with Harvey, I guess. I mean, not exactly, but he's not an atypical leader. But you know, anyway, I don't have to justify that to anyone. I agree. There's a lot of value in someone who can see beyond the issue and see a solution.
Yeah.
What do you think about either of them? Would you rank them out of 10?
Bloom.
I'd say McQuillan's interview was like 6 or 7, but his experience is a little low. So
yeah,
or like a 5 or, you know, good, but like
I agree
a
with
passing grade. Like if there was no one else in the playing field, he'd be one of the top candidates. But people with experience are
Yeah.
going to surpass him even if they flunk the interview.
Mm-hmm. So, unfortunate reality is there's a lot of people inside that we're going to interview that.
And that's
have
why we didn't
experience
open it up
either, like,
outside
high
of PBSO.
command-
Is just because
Yeah.
there's just too many people in here. Can you imagine they're competing against others, you know, like, I don't know, troopers and shit that wanted to, yeah, exactly, whatever.
I mean, I think our list is 1 person with undersheriff experience, 4 lieutenant experience, a captain, 2 or 3 sergeant experience, and then I think like 1 or 2 corporals. So it's pretty stacked.
Yeah. Bloom talked a lot, but I think he so far has the most experience, and his interview is pretty good. I also talk a lot, so I guess I have to be kind of sympathetic to that.
And then Barrack just, I don't know, I think he wanted it, but I don't think he believed in himself.
Yeah.
That he
McQuillan
was the
believes in
one worthy
him
of
more.
it. So yeah. Barrack's also never been one for talking, so yeah.
Not a talker.
So I'm putting it as Bloom, and then I don't know, McQuillan and Barrack. It's tough because McQuillan's interview was much better than Barrack's, but Barrack's experience is much better than McQuillan's.
I mean, just because
I mean, we don't need to
McQuillan
make a leaderboard.
we don't need to, but if we were, I'd say just because McQuillan listed Barrack as one of the people he wants, and Barrack's experience, that probably puts him a little bit above.
Yeah.
But like I said, I have to imagine that when we start interviewing Jenny and Pond, is going to be a pretty quick, like, those two are probably near the bottom, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, the good news is we got the shift 3 ones out the way, and we can do everybody else's around the tsunami. Do you want me to try and schedule them, or just say, hey?
I think
we're
we just
doing
grab
them,
people
and then we just
as we see
grab
them.
Yeah.
And then if we get towards, like, you know, end of next week and we haven't seen people, we'll worry about it. We got plenty
Pretty
of
much
time.
all of them will be there at the meetings.
Like I
The
said.
only one I would say is like Candace. Like one day I'll just be like, hey, stay around for the meeting.
Yep, of course. Won't be at every meeting, but most of them. So we'll worry
Yeah.
about that next week. I mean, like I said, before Halloween would be excellent. So we're on great track for that. Way before it. All right. Well, I got to be up in like 7 hours or something.
I'm planning. Do I want to go on patrol for the next like 9 hours?
Yeah.
Or
I'll try to be there. I'm not gonna make any
4.
promises after how late this went. I thought it would just be the 1 or 2, but
yeah,
I'll try to be there. If not tomorrow, if not 12 hours, then or 8 hours or 9 hours or whatever. We'll do the next day, but we'll get some done next few days.
Neil did email me and ask if he could get the thumbs up to give Graves, UPD guy, an invite to the SCSO because he's interested.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just waiting if Willie wants, because at the end of the day, Lieutenant, it's his department. He needs to be the person to bring him in. I think apart from that, I think we're good.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Do I stay around? Shift 3.
Good luck with that. I'll see you.
I'm staying around.
You're staying around. All right. It was a little longer than I thought it was. I'm always glad I stream these things versus not. I always consider not streaming it, but then I do, and I'm always glad I do because it takes way longer than I thought, and it's more fun with the stream. So, all right, I'm gonna call it here because I got to be up in like 8 hours or so to do the next batch of interviews, or maybe I won't. I don't know. Depends how late I'm up. I may not even go to sleep at this point. We'll see. Thanks for watching. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one, whenever that might be. Yeah, have a good night. Oh, shit. Before I do that, actually. Huge. What if I did... What ability is this? Lodal. Oh, shit. Zinjao. Oh, let's fucking go! Alright. Huge. That's his cue, I think. All right. Easy clap. All right, see you guys later. Should I raid someone? I actually don't know. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna raid your boy Miles probably, because he's the only one awake probably. Actually, you know what? I'm raiding Luca. Luca the complainer. Kozlov. See you guys later. Have a great evening. Morning, night, whatever. Bye-bye.